Chapter 475. Yes, I'm going out, Song Ruiping said. To Xiao Xue's place? Yes, Song Ruiping said. Let's go together, Guo Zhenghe said with a smile. Okay, Song Ruiping said. The three of them went to Xiao Xue's house together. Guo Zhenghe asked Wang Yao a lot of questions. Of course, they were all unimportant things. The most important question was, when do you think Xiao Xue will be able to stand up? It's hard to say, Wang Yao said. After the last diagnosis and treatment, he had some confidence in his heart. If there were no accidents, Xiao Xue would be able to stand up within 10 days. However, he did not know why he did not want to tell Mr. Guo, who had a bright smile on his face, in front of him. Dr. Wang, if you need any help in Jing, just let me know, Guo Zhenghe said. Okay, Wang Yao said. Wang Yao also knew that Guo Zhenghe was just being polite. It was true that they were in Jing, but if Wang Yao needed anything, the Su family would do their best to satisfy him. There was no need to go through Guo Zhenghe. Wang Yao vaguely felt that Guo Zhenghe had a lot of thoughts. The Su family's house was neither close nor far from the small courtyard where Wang Yao temporarily lived. They arrived in less than an hour. Hello, Auntie. Guo Zhenghe greeted Song Ruiping with a smile. He was very respectful. Hello, Zhenghe. Haven't you gone back yet? It's almost the end of the year, Guo Zhenghe said. I have some things to do in Jing, and there's a project that needs to be handled. I'll be back soon. It was reasonable to say that the end of the year was the time when all functional departments were busy. The work of the year needed to be sorted out and summarized. The work of the next year needed to be planned. There were also a lot of meetings to attend, especially in the current situation of Guo Zhenghe. He was one of the main leaders in the county, so he should be busier. However, he brushed it off with a few words. There was no other way. This was the benefit of having a background. Even if he was often not at his original position, no one would say anything about him. Hello, sir. Su Xiaoxue greeted Wang Yao happily. Every time she saw him, she felt especially happy. Xiaoxue, are you feeling better? I'm better. Thank you, Brother Zhenghe. Dr. Wang, what do you think? Song Ruiping asked. Let's see him first. All right, please follow me. It was the same treatment as the last time, but this time it took a longer time. Medicine, acupuncture, and neishi. Wang Yao inserted the needles very slowly and accurately identified the acupoints. Moreover, he changed the needles midway and changed his original idea. Even the meridians where he inserted the needles slightly changed. How do you feel? It's a little numb and itchy. Is it serious? It's not very serious, Su Xiaoxue said softly. Wang Yao waited for a moment, then continued to insert the needles. Su Xiaoxue's body had a very strange reaction. She felt that the neishi in her body seemed to be summoned by something. It was more active than usual. This situation had happened before, but that was when Wang Yao injected neishi into her body. When Wang Yao inserted the needles, he injected neishi into the needles and inserted it into the meridians. Then it integrated into the meridians. It was a little hot. Su Xiaoxue's forehead was sweating. How do you feel? No discomfort, just a little hot. You'll feel better later. This was a normal reaction. After Wang Yao's treatment, the blood circulation in her body was accelerated. This was the combined effect of medicine, neishi, and acupuncture. How long are you going to stay in Jing this time? It's hard to say. The preliminary plan is a week, Wang Yao said. So short? Su Xiaoxue almost subconsciously opened her mouth to speak. It was a week. Now it was the third day. No, it should be the fourth day. More than half of the week had passed. Short? Not short, Wang Yao said with a smile. Su Xiaoxue wanted him to stay for a while, but he didn't know what the breathtakingly beautiful woman in front of him was thinking. I still want to thank you for saving my life, Su Xiaoxue said. Mrs. Song has already paid the consultation fee. My mother is my mother, and I am me, Su Xiaoxue whispered. Let's talk about it after you've completely recovered, Wang Yao said. Song Ruiping, who was on the side, naturally heard the conversation between the two. She also keenly heard the change in her daughter's tone. Sure enough. What should I do? Song Ruiping sighed softly. Is your home and hike? Yes. Is the sea there beautiful? Yes, it's very beautiful, Wang Yao said. If I'm cured, I'll go there to visit you. I hope you can take me to see the sea. Su Xiaoxue turned her head to Wang Yao said with a smile. Ah, okay, Wang Yao said after being stunned for a moment. In fact, he was in Lianshan County, which was quite a distance from Hike. This was not important. With Su Xiaoxue's identity, she was like a little princess. If she wanted to go anywhere, her family would find a way to satisfy her, not only in China, but also abroad. This time, he looked at Song Ruaping in confusion and found that she also had a somewhat helpless smile. Let's go. Sir, can you be my teacher? Then, Su Xiaoxue said something that stunned Wang Yao. Teacher, what can I teach you? Neishi, medical skills, in fact, you have taught me a lot, Su Xiaoxue said. Well, Wang Yao really didn't know whether to agree or refuse, but when he saw the girl's clear eyes, he really didn't know. I can teach you to write, but don't call me teacher. How can I do that? Teacher is nice to meet you, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Well, I have another apprentice. This change was beyond everyone's expectation. How could this be? Wang Yao thought in his heart. Only Su Xiaoxue was smiling happily. As long as you're happy, Song Ruaping thought. Guozhenghe didn't hear the conversation between them because he and Chuning were both in the living room. Sistering, can I ask you a question? Yes, Master Gua. Hey, didn't I tell you not to call me that? Guozhenghe said seriously. Dr. Wang came to Jing this time. In addition to Xiaoxue, did he receive any other patients? Yes, he treated Xiao Zhou, Chuning said truthfully. Xiao Zhou, your brother? Yes. Oh, who else besides Xiao Zhou? Guozhenghe took a sip of tea and asked. Well, no, Chuning said. Chen Lao brought the people of the Wu family to see him, but Dr. Wang didn't agree. She didn't hide this kind of thing, and she knew that she couldn't hide it. Why is it still the same rules? Guozhenghe asked. I don't know about this. The two of them chatted in the living room. Guozhenghe was very relaxed, but Chuning seemed a little reserved. Thousands of miles away in Dao, looking for a beating, ear, creak, a car suddenly stopped on the road, blocking a person's path. That person's movements were extremely fast. He jumped to the side like a rabbit. Then, with a shake of his right hand, something slipped out from his sleeve. There was a faint glow. As soon as he stood still, another car came. Two cars sandwiched him in the middle. The windows quickly rolled down. There were a few muffled sounds. The person's body went soft and fell to the ground. High-tech things are quite useful. Why so much nonsense? Hurry up, the man said. If you are late, the cooked duck will fly away. Two people got out of the car, wearing rubber gloves. They quickly put the person who fell to the ground into a sack and put him in the car. Then they left. An hour later, in an abandoned factory in Dao, a man who was hung up leisurely woke up. Awake? Below him, a few people surrounded him, holding sticks in their hands. I'm sorry, brother, the man said. I have no choice. Wait a moment. Whoosh. The door opened. Four people came in. The leader was a middle-aged man. Hello, Brother Chun. Hello, this person? Yes. The middle-aged man, named Brother Chen, carefully looked at the man's face and then looked at his hands and wrists. Yes, that's him. Hey, we have been following him for a long time. Here is the money. The man named Elder Brother Chun directly took out a box and opened it. Inside, there were red stacks and stacks. Chapter 476. So much money. Thank you, Brother Chun. Well, as long as the matter is done well, the money will not be small. You know the strength of that person, the middle-aged man said. Yes, yes. Don't be fooled by the fact that these people usually flaunted their prowess. In fact, they were not presentable and could not be exposed to the light. Well, you are busy. Aren't there other people? Okay, we'll go now. With a big box of money in hand, they left happily and cautiously. Damn, boss, so much money. Nonsense. Hurry up and find a bank to deposit it. Rich people are so generous. But aren't transfers all the time now? Getting such a large amount of cash. Are you kidding me? What if it gets robbed on the way? Who am I going to ask for it? Brother, will they rob you? The middle-aged man asked. Eat your head, the middle-aged man said. Hurry up and find out the whereabouts of the other people. Whoever dares to be lazy, see if I don't beat him. Yes, there were only a few people left in the abandoned factory. Well, I don't know your name, the middle-aged man said. I'll ask and you answer. The eyes of the man who was hung up were as cold as a snake. Many people I saw were unyielding in the beginning, but later they regretted it, Brother Chin said with a smile. Come. A young man next to him took a toolbox and put it on the table beside him. Let me introduce you. Click. The alley opened. There were knives, needles, scissors, hammerheads, some syringes, and drugs. The small toolbox was divided into 3 layers. I'll use these later. Ah, let me introduce myself, Brother Chen said. My name is Han Shun, and I'm an interrogator. Well, you can think of it as torture. As Han Shun said this, he took out a small hammerhead from the alley. Be gentle first. Tell me. Ah, screams could be heard coming from the abandoned factory, and it didn't take long for them to disperse. After an hour, the man who was hung up had been tortured beyond recognition, but there was no blood on his body. Ah, what a stubborn person. Han Chen sighed. Brother Chun, Mr. Sun, is on the phone. Bring it here. Hello, Mr. Sunday. Did you understand? Understood in well done. It's my duty. On the other end of the phone, Sun Jingrong hung up with a gloomy face. You found it, master? I found it. It's at the Han residence. That person from the Han clan? Yes, No wonder it's suddenly hard to find. Haha, haven't you forgotten what happened back then? Some people just can't be pitted. Sun Jingrong said coldly. I'll arrange it right away. Yes, in a villa somewhere in Dao City. Master, Little Five didn't come back after he went out. What about the phone? I can't get through. Ah, something has happened. The old man sighed. Then, we should go. That Sun guy is still fine. That shouldn't be. Yes. Where's his son? Yes, it's in a small mountain village, Wang Yao said. A small mountain village. Ha! They really know how to think, the old man said as he coughed. Let's go. Let's go to that small village and have a look. I'll go talk to Mr. Han. Master is leaving? Yes. I've troubled you these past few days, the old man said. Where are you going? I'll send a car to take you there. You can't wait for us to leave, right? The man next to him asked with a smile. Well, no, absolutely not, the old man said. Ha, don't take it to heart. Chaoyang was just joking with you, the old man said with a smile. Ah. Mr. Han was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. Go finding how. Okay, on the beach of Dao City, I've said, Zhao Young Ho, it's over between the two of us. Please don't pester me anymore. The sea breeze messed up her black hair. The pretty woman said coldly. The young man's eyes became more melancholy after hearing that, just like the blue waves in front of him. Ring, ring, ring. At this moment, his phone rang. Hello, what? Okay, I see. I'm leaving, the man said softly. Goodbye. After being silent for a long time, the woman said these 2 words. No, I should say never see you again. The man clenched his fists and turned to leave. There seemed to be tears in the woman's eyes. This kind of scene seemed to be often seen in some melodramatic love dramas. It was the kind that was very emotional. The relationship between a man and a woman, the lotus root broken and the silk tied, the separation of life and death. In short, it was a long story. Where's Xiaowu? Zhao Young-ho returned to the villa, but found that his junior was not back. Something happened to Xiaowu, the tall, thin, gloomy man said. What happened? I think so. The man shrugged. He was killed. What? Zhao Young-ho's veins on his forehead suddenly bulged. Who? Junior, calm down, the gloomy man said with a smile. Do you still need me to answer? Such a simple question? Their purpose for coming to this city was very simple, revenge. The other party was not easy to deal with. Otherwise, their master would not have endured until now. Moreover, if it were not for the fact that there was a big problem with his body and that he might not be able to hold on, he might have endured until the time was more ripe. He would not have come to the other party's territory without a plan. Moreover, almost all of the people of his lineage were here. If there was a big problem, their lineage would be cut off from then on. You can still laugh? What should I do? Cry? The gloomy man asked. You are really heartless, the man said. He is your junior. Ah, you see my sunny smile, the gloomy man said. In fact, my heart is sad. I am crying. You enough cough. The old man could not help but interrupt the conversation between the two. Inghao, you have some misunderstandings about Jiaoyang, the old man said. He cares about you very much, but the situation he has shown may be a little beyond your imagination. The old man was very clear about the temperament of these people's disciples. He had been teaching them since they were teenagers. He knew all aspects of them like the back of his hand. Yes, master, Zhao Yunho said respectfully. Go and get ready. We will leave immediately. By the way, what about the girl? I have broken up with her, Zhao Yunho said. Well, that's good. Before the car was ready, Mr. Han came over in a hurry. Master, this is bad. They already know that you are here. The police are already on their way. You have to hurry up and leave. What a coincidence, the tall and thin man said with a smile. What do you mean? Mr. Han was stunned. I swear to God, it was definitely not me who told on you. He said very seriously. I still believe Mr. Han, the tall and thin man said. Please arrange a car for us. It has been arranged. You need to leave as soon as possible. Well, we will leave immediately. As soon as the car left, the police arrived. Just like the classic scenes in TV and novels, they were one step late. The monk ran away, but the benefactor couldn't escape. The middle-aged man, surnamed Han, was arrested. No, sir, are you mistaken? Why did you arrest me? Harboring a wanted criminal. Wanted criminal? What wanted criminal? Swish. A wanted poster was unfolded in front of him. Wait, this date. It was today. Sun Jingrong immediately understood what the reason was. On the other side, the car was driving fast. Bang! The tire burst on the way. What happened? The tire burst. What a coincidence. Is that Han causing trouble? The tall and thin man stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his mouth. Master? Forget it. Hurry up and think of a way. Okay. Just as they stopped to fix the car, the middle-aged man with the surname Han started to spill everything he knew in the police station. They went to the mountain village. Sun Jingrong had a bad feeling after hearing the news. He hurriedly called his son in the mountain village and arranged a large number of people to go directly to the mountain village. Master, be careful. It is a trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain, Uncle Lin reminded him. Well, I have to be careful, but nothing must happen to the mountain village. I can't let Dr. Wang be affected because of me. Chapter 477. I think we should tell him about this, Sun Jingrong said after hesitating for a while. What if there is an accident? In the face of such a situation, no one could guarantee that nothing would go wrong. If Wang Yao's family was injured or his clinic was damaged, how could they explain it? Sun Jingrong didn't say anything. He lowered his head and pondered for a while. He was making a decision. Okay, I'll call him. He picked up his phone and called Wang Yao. He told Wang Yao what had happened in a concise manner. What? Wang Yao was shocked. He was worried about his family. After hanging up the phone, he first called his parents and asked them to leave the mountain village immediately. He then found Chuning. I want to go home as soon as possible. Help me arrange it immediately. Okay, what happened, sir? Seeing Wang Yao so anxious, Chuning realized that something must have happened to his family. There may be illegal people in the mountain village today. I'm worried about my family. I'll arrange it immediately. Chuning didn't hesitate at all. She immediately went out and arranged the fastest formation in the shortest time possible. It has been arranged. The train will take you to Wei City. There will be a special car to pick you up. The whole process will take about 5.5 hours. Okay. Chuning naturally told Song Ruaping about the matter. Illegal people? What is the specific situation? What is the local department doing? Why does he need to go back in person? Song Ruaping asked. She had been looking forward to seeing him come to treat her daughter. Seeing that her daughter's complexion was getting better and better, how could she not be angry when he suddenly had to go back? It was very urgent. I didn't ask in detail, Chuning said. Okay, you arrange it as you see fit. Call me if you need anything. Yes, ma'am. Wang Yao sat on the train and looked out of the window. The sky was gradually getting dark. He called home and confirmed that his parents had left the mountain village for his grandmother's house. He was slightly relieved. What is going on? Wang Fenghua asked his son on the phone. This matter can't be explained in a short time. I'll explain it to you when I return. While Wang Yao was rushing home on the high-speed rail, numerous cars were speeding along the road from Dao City to the mountain village. When it was dark, people who had finished eating in the mountain village and came out for a stroll found several cars suddenly coming to the village. They all had Dow license plates. Some people saw many people get out of the cars, and they were all strong men. He even brought some boxes with him. What are these people doing here? The people who saw them were very surprised. Then they found that most of these people had moved into the house of the rich young man who had just moved into the village. Master, the people have arrived. Dr. Wang's family has left the mountain village. Good, Sun Jingrong said. The night gradually deepened. In the dark night, a car was driving along the mountain road. Cough, cough, cough. There was a series of coughs in the car. How far are we from the village? It's not far. Stop the car. The car stopped, and several people got out. Let's walk there. Master, how are you feeling? Zhao Young-ho was worried. I'm fine. It's just a few steps. At night, the wind was very cold. A few people walked on the quiet road. On such a day, in the mountain village, there were not many cars and pedestrians. The old man walked very slowly, but for some reason, his cough was not as bad as usual. Master, it's the mountain village in front. Zhaoyang, go in and have a look first. Oh, okay, wait a moment. The man did not take the main road. Instead, he disappeared into the side of the mountain. There was a rustling sound, but he was nowhere to be seen. In the mountain village, there were many lights. Sun Yunxing's house was very eye-catching among the other houses. It felt like a red flower in a green leaf. Found it. The man quietly walked along the mountain road into the mountain village. Woof, woof. Dogs immediately barked in the mountain village. Be quiet, all of you. The man's words seemed to have some kind of magic. Not long after he finished speaking, the dogs nearby stopped barking. Huh? He stopped when he was close to Sun Yunxing's house. It's really here. He saw the hidden bodyguards outside the two houses. Let's go. He turned around and walked into the jungle. At this time, a car was speeding on the road. Faster. Okay. The car was like a panther chasing its prey at full speed in the dark night. Master, you don't have to take the risk yourself. I can do it. Yin Shang is there, and this trouble is caused by me. I have to give Dr. Wang an explanation. Sun Jingrong's face was not very good. The fight in the past few days had made him understand the horror of his opponent. If he did not completely stop this time and let the tiger go back to the mountain again, how much trouble would it cause him next time? Would it kill him directly? Evil must be eradicated completely. He had known this for a long time. Master, I found his hiding place. The tall and thin man returned along the mountain road and joined his master and junior. Let's go and have a look. By mountain road, yes. The old man's footsteps seemed to be very slow. He looked a little old, but he was very steady. His speed was not affected at all when he entered the forest. Instead, he moved faster. It was late at night. The mountain road was not as smooth as the road below. It was uneven and full of trees and rocks. It didn't take long for them to come to a corner of the mountain village. Looking from the mountain, they could see the house where Sun Yunsheng was very clearly. Of course, it was just the outside. There are bodyguards. Yes, there are also hidden sentries. I can see at least 7 people, the tall and thin man said. Did you disturb them? No. The old man stood quietly under the tree. He was not in a hurry to act. Master? The tall and thin man asked. Do you think this is a trap set by Sun Yunsheng? The old man whispered. Do you mean this is a trap? The tall and thin man asked. Yes, it's possible. I'll go and have a look, the tall and thin man said. Okay, be careful. They may have guns on them. Okay, the tall and thin man replied. He then disappeared into the night. Cough, cough, cough. A few coughs came from the mountain. The old man took out a bottle from the cloth bag he carried with him. He poured out a few pills from it and took them. Brother Hao, how is it? The tall and thin man asked. They are here. Wait, the tall and thin man said. It was quiet in the small mountain village. Most people in the village were lying on their kong, chatting and watching TV. They definitely didn't know what was happening in the mountain village at this moment. Someone is here. Where is he? Not good. In the alley, a black shadow flashed. It quickly rushed to the woods on the side and disappeared. It was as fast as a rabbit. Master, we've been discovered, the tall and thin man said. Let's see how they react, the tall and thin man said. The three of them watched as more than a dozen people rushed out of the two houses below with weapons in their hands. Good Lord, Sun Yinsheng has really put in a lot of effort, the tall and thin man said. Who would have thought that there would be so many people with guns in such a small mountain village? Needless to say, just reporting this to the police will be enough to make him suffer, the tall and thin man said. Do it, the tall and thin man said. Yes. Two figures came out of the forest. Then two sparks lit up. There seemed to be a faint fragrance floating out in the air. Gulp, gulp. In the darkness, people fell down. Dogs fell down. Cows fell down. Replying 03, replying 03. Replying 05, replying 05. Brother Hao, they are here. Our people are rapidly decreasing. It should be knockout incense. Tell everyone to be alert and wear gas masks. Yes. The people who had been prepared took out gas masks. They are quite well prepared. In the night, something flew out with a buzz. Be careful. There are poisonous insects in the sky. Brother, this will hurt the innocent. Oh, you still have a bodhisattva's heart at this time? The tall and thin man sneered. My brother, they have guns in their hands. How about this? I won't do it. You go and knock them all down. With a cold snort, the two people separated in the dark night. In less than 3 minutes, more than a dozen people all fell to the ground and fainted. So powerful. In the room, the stiff-faced man said expressionlessly, What should we do next? Sun Yinsheng was a little worried. More than half of their people had fallen. The remaining people were the last resort. Wait. The stiff-faced man still said the same word. A figure leaped over the wall that was several meters high and landed lightly in the courtyard. In the yard, it was the two strong men. The man went over to check their breathing. They were still breathing, but they had fainted. The light in the room was on. Creak. The door was pushed open a crack. Then 2 sparks went in. The man leaned against the corner of the wall. After 10 breaths, he pushed the door open. Creak. Who are you? Who are you? You are the silly sister in my heart. I can't see the rosy glow on your face. A classic song came from the room. There were 2 people on the ground. He checked them one by one. There was no one he was looking for in the room. Then, he entered another room. Puff. There was a muffled sound. His face changed greatly. Crack. There was the sound of glass breaking. He broke out of the window like an arrow, but he felt the strength in his body was rapidly disappearing in mid-air. Poison. He felt the abnormality in his body at the first time. He didn't expect that the other party would use such a method. The same thing happened in another room. The man quickly took out a pill from his pocket and put it into his mouth. TSK, TSK, TSK. They used such a method? Plop. Zhao Yunho fell to the ground. Have they left? Yes. Where are our people? Most of them have fainted. Young master, let's change the place immediately. Change the place. Yes, it's dangerous. In the wilderness. Junior brother, you're awake? Zhao Yinghao saw a sinister smile when he woke up. Chapter 478. It made people feel very uncomfortable. Thank you for saving me, senior. Although Zhao Yunho had always had a strong opinion of his senior, he had just saved his life. Junior, take a rest first. I still have something to do. The tall and thin man looked at a strong man lying on the ground with a smile. Let's have a good talk. A gust of cold wind blew. In the forest, a man looked at his fingers that had revealed white bones. His body trembled like a sieve. It was partly because of fear and mostly because of pain. In the face of such a situation, it would be a lie to say that he was not afraid. Most people would be afraid of death, let alone a terrible way of dying. Speak. The tall and thin man removed the cotton cloth stuffed in his mouth. Bah! He spat out a mouthful of blood. Tisk TSK, TSK. You are a man. I like you. The man took out a small wooden bottle from his pocket and opened the lid. Then, a black line came out of the wooden bottle and pierced into the man's palm. Then he convulsed in pain. His eyes were about to jump out of their sockets. The muscles on his palm were disappearing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Only the white bones were left. There was not a trace of flesh on them. When the black line reached his wrist, the tall and thin man quickly threw something into the wooden bottle. Then, A black line instantly shot out from the man's arm and returned to the wooden bottle. Then, he carefully closed the bottle lid. "Look, how painful this is," the tall and thin man said. "I can't bear it." The man looked at his palm. He seemed to be dumbfounded. "Tell me, where is it?" In a few minutes, a black shadow entered the mountain village again. He came to an old house that was about to collapse dozens of meters away from the two houses. He was very careful. A spark was shot in. After 10 seconds, he entered and found that it was empty. Not only that, the moment he entered, something exploded. The sound was not loud, but there was a flash of strong light. In an instant, it was like a small sun. Then there was smoke and smoke. The tall and thin man immediately retreated. Damn it! There was the sound of something moving quickly in the darkness. The man hurriedly dodged. Sparks flew everywhere. An arrow pierced into the wall. The bow and arrow were silent and had a strong, killing effect. The man hurriedly retreated. Whoosh! An arrow brushed past his neck, cutting through his skin and causing blood to seep out. A spark flew out. "Retreat!" Someone shouted in the darkness. The tall and thin man retreated into the forest in the distance. "Injured? It's a trap." The old man coughed a few times. "Let's go." "Master, should I try again?" the tall and thin man asked. "There's no need. Let's go." When they were about to leave, they saw a car driving into the mountain village. The lanky man took out the binoculars from the cloth bag. "It seems to be Sun Jingrong's car." "Oh." The old man stopped. "Are the father and son together?" "Then I won't leave," the old man said. "New grudges and old grudges will be settled right here and now." "What? Master is here?" The stiff-faced man, who was hiding in the dark, was very surprised after receiving the news. He immediately called them to leave so that his plan would not be completely disrupted. It seemed that his plan was working. He immediately called them to leave. "It seems that they have arrived in the village and fought with Hao," the old man said. "Yes," Uncle Lin said. "The young master is fine for the time being, but Hao and the others have basically lost their ability to move. Go and have a look." "Are you here?" "It doesn't matter. It's good to use me as bait." The old man got out of the car and quickly disappeared into the darkness. "Master, it's Lin Sitao. So, it's very likely that Sun Jingrong is sitting in the car." "Not necessarily. There are 3 cars. It may be a trap." "Haha. The older he is, the more afraid of death." "This is very likely." The old man took out a pill and swallowed it. "Tonight, let's end it." The old man went down the mountain with steady steps. Behind him were his 2 apprentices. There were a few sparks and a few wisps of smoke. All the creatures in this area fell to the ground as if they were some kind of surrender. "Xiaoyang, go find his son and ask for him alive." "Yes, master." "Inghao, you go down with me." "Okay." The 3 of them went all the way. "They're coming, young master. Go quickly." At this time, he couldn't gamble anymore. He had to change. Therefore, in the dark night, several figures rushed out of a few dilapidated houses and quickly ran in different directions. The key was that the figures were about the same size. It was night. Not everyone had night vision. There was a soft sigh. Interesting. Many people like to play the game of cat and mouse. There were only 3 people on one side, but there were at least 15 people on the other side. Sometimes, the number didn't mean anything. "Inghao, help your senior brother." One by one, people fell to the ground. The fight only took a blink of an eye. Of course, the 2 brothers also paid a price. They were also injured. "They're going all out." In the dark night, a light suddenly lit up. Puff, puff, puff. It was not a gun. It was another kind of weapon. Then, Zhao Yunho was hit. He was bleeding and injured on his back. He just snorted and quickly changed direction. Then, he tangled with the man. After a few ups and downs, he threw the man to the ground. Good skill. He then met another man. Even in the dark, he could see the man's face clearly. He was expressionless. When a man's words reached his ears, there was another thing, his knife. In the dark, it was as fast as lightning. It's this man again. Last time, he fought with the man. At that time, he was caught off guard. This time, the man was prepared. He was injured. This is troublesome. "You go first." A cold voice was heard. "Well, this is not good." The man with facial paralysis felt an unprecedented crisis. It was as if he was targeted by an evil spirit in the dark night. In the dark night, the two people's voices intertwined for a short time. They were extremely fast. Then, both of them were injured. However, the man with facial paralysis was more seriously injured because the man's weapon was poisonous. How do you feel? Is it a little numb and itchy? The cold voice came, which made people uncomfortable. The middle-aged man didn't speak. He directly responded with the knife. Faster. At this time, a car was still speeding on the road. Okay. In fact, the car was already very fast. It even exceeded the speed limit. Fortunately, there were not many cars on the road at night. As for exceeding the speed limit, some people didn't care. The winter night was actually a bit annoying because of its coldness and monotony. Cough, cough, cough. An old man was coughing. Lin Sitao, it's me. Hello, senior. Haha, don't be so polite. The two old men fought in the dark night. The result of a duel between masters was just a moment. Lin Sitao fell to the ground and coughed. Blood kept flowing out from the corner of his mouth. The old man opposite him was not much better. Blood was flowing from his arm. I was careless. I didn't expect you to be able to sneak attack. Lao Lin, I'm fine, master. Lin Sitao supported his body and stood up. Sun Jingrong was holding a gun in his hand. Well, that's enough. Poof, poof. There were a few muffled sounds. Could someone be faster than a bullet? Yes, it was at night, and it was an old man in his 70s. Cough, cough. This time, it was Sun Jingrong who coughed. You actually still have such thoughts? The old man looked at his palm, which was full of bloody holes. When he hit the old man's body, he felt a sharp pain. It was as if his entire palm had been pierced. The old man was wearing something special, especially in the chest area. Didn't you say you were going to take out my heart to see? I've been on guard, Sun Jingrong said. Although he had avoided his heart being taken out, his ribs should have been broken. Poof, poof. There was a muffled sound. The person hiding in the dark launched an attack. The old man's figure disappeared in an instant. Then there was a buzzing sound in the air. Retreat. Chapter 479. Several people in the corner struggled and fell down. The muffled sound also stopped. You are here. The cold voice was like the coldest north wind. It made Sun Yunxing feel a chill in his bones. He did not look back. He used his last resort. Sometimes a gun could be a suitable weapon for self-defense, but sometimes it would become a burden. This kind of toy is not something you can play with. As soon as he took it out, he felt the gun in his hand was taken away. He instantly lost the ability to resist and fell to the ground. I am so useless. That was what he thought when he fell down. He wanted to resist, but there was no chance at all. It was like a sheep meeting a lion. Cough, cough, cough. Zhao Youngho leaned against the corner and coughed. He was injured on his back. His senior brother was treating his wound very carefully. Fortunately, there is no poison, the cold man said. Don't worry about me. Go and see Master, the old man said. Master will be fine, the cold man said. I'm a little curious. You were clearly poisoned. How can you be fine? The old man looked at his skinny hand as if nothing had happened. His hand was a little numb. He was also poisoned. Sun Jingrong did not speak. He was tired of dealing with the old man. He was tired of dealing with the poisonous insects in the sky. They were very crazy. They pounced on living things as soon as they saw them. He ran and threw powder in the air. Fire. There was a burning fire. The air was filled with a pungent smell, and there were bugs falling from the sky. Huang Zhiqing, don't hurt the innocent, the old man said. Hey, when did you become so kind? The old man roared. Let me ask you, how did my daughter die? He was like an angry old wolf. She killed my wife and daughter. She asked for it, Sun Jingrong said. Humph, she asked for it, the old man said. Buzz. A large number of insects flew out of the old man's body. They were like demons that had escaped from a cage. Not good, Sun Jingrong thought. The situation was completely out of his control. Woof, woof. A dog barked crazily. What are you barking for? The lights in the village were turned on. Ah, a person groaned and fell to the ground. He then twitched. Father, what's wrong with you? The woman came out of the house and saw her husband lying on the ground. She hurriedly went forward to check on him, but she suddenly felt her body turn cold. Then, she felt dizzy and fell to the ground. The same thing happened to his children in the house. Here they are. A car entered the southern mountain village. When the car reached the middle of the village, Wang Yao saw someone lying on the ground. "Stop the car!" Creak. The car stopped. He got out of the car and looked at the man. He was poisoned. Buzz. What was that sound? A black bug the size of a mosquito flew up. It was very anxious. It did not fly towards Wang Yao, but hurriedly avoided him, as if there was something terrifying on his body. Wang Yao reached out and touched it, and the insect fell into his hand. It was a very small insect, but it looked very ferocious. Poisonous insects. He frowned. The man lying on the ground was fine, but if he continued to lie on the road in such cold weather, he might freeze to death overnight. There's someone ahead? He vaguely heard something and hurried over. Along the way, he encountered a lot of poisonous insects. He broke the air. His fist broke the air, and the air seemed to explode. Wherever he pointed, it was as if an invisible bomb exploded in midair. All the poisonous insects fell to the ground. Master, his son. The tall, thin man carried a paralyzed young man, as if he was carrying a chicken. Sun Jingrong, give up. Haha. Huang Xiaoyang, do you know how your parents died? Sun Jingrong asked. If nothing unexpected happened, tonight's solution would be settled. Before he came, he thought this would be the result. In fact, if he did not come, this would not be the result at all. Sun Jingrong, don't disturb my mind, the cold man said. Think about it carefully, the cold man said. The taste of your muscles being eaten by insects is quite exciting. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Something came from behind. Someone. The tall, thin man saw a person walking quickly. At first, he was still far away, but in the next moment, he was in front of them. Huang Zhiqing frowned and squinted his eyes. What powerful kung fu! This kind of instantaneous movement in such a short distance was almost like shrinking the ground into an inch. Moreover, he was not affected by the poisonous insects at all. Dr. Wang, Sun Jingrong immediately said after seeing Wang Yao. At the same time, he was relieved. With Wang Yao here, there would be a turning point. What's going on? Wang Yao was very angry now. Along the way, he saw several people fall to the ground. Some fell on the road, and some fell in front of his door. If his parents were still at home, would the result be the same? He felt scared just thinking about it. Although they were not his relatives, they were from the same village and had the same surname. Some of them were even relatives who had not yet married. The whole thing could be said to have a lot to do with him. Otherwise, they would not have suffered such an undeserved disaster. He blamed himself. He did not have a good face for Sun Jingrong, who caused this big trouble. You guys called back all the poisonous insects. Wang Yao shouted. Ha, you have a bad temper. Wang Yao just took one step and fell in front of them. He was so fast that they could not see him clearly. Huang Ziqing was anxious. There were still insects on his body, but they were very scared as if they had seen their natural enemy. They did not dare to attack at all. Huang Xiaoyang did not have time to react. He fell to the ground. How is it possible? His eyes were wide open. His face was full of shock. Even in the hands of his master, he would not be like this. There was no room for resistance. Who was this young man? How could he have such terrifying kung fu? Also, why was he not afraid of insects? Wang Yao turned and punched the air. Boom! It was like a broken drum. The old man felt like he had been hit by a car at full speed. He flew out, hit the wall, and fell down. Cough, cough, cough. Blood came out of his mouth. His chest was violently rising and falling. How is it possible? How is it possible? His eyes were full of horror. It was as if he had seen a devil. How old are you? Take these insects back immediately, Wang Yao said sternly. The moment he saw the insects on the old man's body fly up, he knew why those people fell to the ground. It was the old man. It was a tradition to respect the old and love the young, but it also depended on the person. There was no need to respect the stubborn old man who had caused a lot of harm. Ha ha ha, the old man laughed. Well, he took a deep breath. Then he took out a pill and put it into his mouth. The next moment, he came to Wang Yao's side like a ghost. However, he stopped in front of him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. There was the sound of something rushing through the air. Ding, ding, ding. Before they could get close to Wang Yao, they all fell to the ground. The 3-foot chi wall. Xianmin gang chi. Sigh. The old man sighed. Then he took a few steps back. I can't fight. I can't win. I can't accept this. The old man looked up at the sky. Xiaoyu, I am useless. He took out a round wooden tripod from the cloth bag. Then he opened it and threw something like a pill into it. The next moment, a large number of insects flew back from everywhere and fell into the wooden tripod. The old man carefully sealed the wooden tripod. Then he walked to Huang Chuyang's side and woke him up. Huang Chuyang's eyes suddenly opened wide. Cough, cough, cough. The old man kept coughing. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. He had old injuries. This time, he was hit by Wang Yao's space-splitting fist. Not only did it hurt his internal organs, but it also acted up. He didn't have long to live. Wang Yao also saw the old man's physical condition. However, he didn't say anything. The person who used poisonous insects was most likely not a good person. Go, the old man growled. Bang, something exploded. There was a yellowish-green smell and a pungent stench. Wang Yao hit the air with his palm. Then the wind blew. The stench dissipated. The two young people had gone far away. On the ground, the old man held Sun Yunqing's neck with one hand. It was a very melodramatic scene. Ah, Sun Zhengrong, you are not destined to die, the old man said with a sigh. I didn't expect you to meet such an amazing, godlike person. I can't accept it. Let him go, Wang Yao said. The old man in front of him was like a candle in the wind. It would be extinguished soon. The reason why he used Sun Yunsheng as a hostage was to fight for a little chance for his two disciples. That was all. Because of you, my daughter died. My wife is gone. My cultivation has gone wrong. All these years, I have been thinking about how to kill you. Unfortunately, man proposes, God disposes. The old man's face was full of unwillingness. Cough, cough, cough. He let go. Wang Yao came in front of the old man in an instant. Then, the old man's body fell to the ground. Xiaoyu Laoli, I'm coming. Chaiyang, Yinghao, run quickly. Don't think about revenge. This young man was no longer a human. What do you want to do? Huang Chuyang grabbed Zhao Young-ho, who wanted to turn back. I want to go back and save Master. Save? How can you save him? Zhao Young-ho had no words to respond. Yes, that person's cultivation was so terrifying. How could he save him if he went back? I'll go and risk my life. Smack! Huang Chaoyang slapped him in the face. Wake up, will you? Master used his life in exchange for a chance for us to escape. You're still here dawdling. I really want to slap you to death. Let's run separately. Go back and learn what Master taught you. Don't think about revenge. Run now. Huang Chaoyang said sternly. Zhao Young-ho looked back, then turned around and disappeared into the forest. Not long after the two of them ran, Wang Yao followed. These two people were two time bombs. He had to find a way to defuse them. Well, they actually separated. Chapter 480. Wang Yao chased toward the south. He was extremely fast. A figure shuttled through the jungle. From time to time, he changed his route and made some movements to attract the attention of others. Rustle, rustle, rustle. He vaguely heard some sounds. Maybe it was an illusion. Hurry up, hurry up. He pushed himself to the limit and increased his speed again. He couldn't let his master's efforts go to waste. Amidst the bleakness, he suddenly saw a forest that stood out from the rest. Then, he subconsciously rushed over. With the forest, there was shelter. It was easier to hide. Before he reached it, he heard the barking of dogs. Is there a dog? This was not a problem for him. What is this? When he got closer, he found that there were dense trees in front of him. They were not thick, but the gaps were very narrow. The key was that they were still moving. They kept shaking, which made him dizzy. This is not good. A battle array. He realized what it was. He hurriedly closed his eyes and steadied his body. How could there be such a thing on a mountain? He had only heard about it from his master, but he had never seen it. The young man who was as good as an immortal. He didn't know why, but he felt that this was the forest for the first time. This battle array was most likely set up by the young man. Then, Huang Zhaoyang had a flame in his hand. He was going to set the forest on fire. Woof, woof, woof. The dog made a low growl and rushed out. Get away. Huang Xiaoyang wanted to easily defeat the dog, but after seeing the dog's size, he was shocked. Is this a dog? Why does it look like a lion? It was not only big, but also very agile. Caw! There was a cry in the sky. What was that? A goshawk fell from the sky and went straight to Huang Xiaoyang. Before the dog on the ground was dealt with, another goshawk came from the sky. The key was that the size was beyond imagination. It was troublesome. Buzz. A large number of insects flew out of his body, but they didn't dare to approach the dog and the goshawk. What was going on? He was stunned again. Tonight, he had encountered too many unimaginable things. It was simply beyond his imagination. The people he met were extraordinary. The animals he met were also different. The fire burned in the forest. Both the dog and the goshawk were injured. Cough, cough, cough. Huang Xiaoyang coughed. He was tired of dealing with the dog and the goshawk. He felt as if he was facing two peerless masters. There was a sound. Someone came. His battle with the two animals was actually very short. Then, Wang Yao rushed over. He saw the fire, the dog on the ground, and the struggling goshawk. Then, he flew into a rage. With just one step, he crossed a distance of more than 10 meters. Huang Xiaoyang sprinted. Pop! A punch pierced through the air. It was as if he had been hit by a speeding car. His entire body flew out and crashed heavily into a mountain rock. At that moment, he fainted. In the dark night, there were still buzzing insects flying around. Gather for me. Wang Yao's left hand turned in the void, and there seemed to be an invisible net between heaven and earth, gathering all the flying impacts together. Break for me. A punch pierced through the air. With a loud bang, the poisonous insects that were gathered together were all blown apart. It was as if they had been hit by a cannonball, and they fell to the ground with a crackling sound. Sansien de Xia. He hurriedly checked the dog and the goshawk. Fortunately, their bodies didn't suffer any major injuries. Most of them were just superficial wounds. For some unknown reason, those poisonous insects didn't dare to approach them. Perhaps it was because they were affected by some herbs in the medicinal field. There was a special smell on their bodies, so those poisonous insects didn't dare to approach them. They were fine. Wang Yao hurriedly put out the fire. The place where the fire was ignited was the periphery of the array. He did not know what special powder that guy used, but the fire was burning more vigorously. Wang Yao took more than a dozen buckets of water from the herbal field to put out the fire. Dozens of trees were burned down. Phew, at least there was no big loss. After that, he would turn around and bandage them and arrange for them to be properly treated. You guys recuperate here first. Thank you for your hard work. Then, Wang Yao left the herbal field and looked at the man at the foot of a mountain rock. He had no breath. He was dead. Perhaps, before coming here tonight, he would never have thought that he would die here, right? He killed people in a rage. Now that he had calmed down a little, Wang Yao's mood was still complicated and contradictory. After all, he was a human. Ah, he sighed. I'll go down the mountain and have a look. Wang Yao went down the mountain. Sun Jingrong was gathering the rest of the people to deal with the mess caused by tonight's incident. His son, Old Lin, Ahao, and the subordinates he brought were all injured. A few of them even died. Fortunately, this was a mountain village. It was night, but this was not Dao. He could not cover the sky with one hand. He could only try his best to make up for the losses caused by him. Dr. Wang, how is it? Wang Yao asked. They are all injured, and most of them are poisoned, Sun Jingrong said. Let me take a look. Wang Yao began to check the bodies of these people. By the way, there is a body on Nanshan Hill. Find a proper person to deal with it. Okay, I'll arrange it right away, Sun Jingrong said. Needless to say, this was one of Huang Zhiqing's two disciples. When the sky was about to turn white, 2 more cars came to the mountain village. More than a dozen people got out of the cars. They were Sun Jingrong's confidants from Dao. With their help, the scene was dealt with much faster. Among the injured people, Lin Sitao and Hao were the most seriously injured. Although Wang Yao saved their lives, they had to recuperate for at least a month before they could move freely. It would take at least 3 months to recover. They were poisoned and had knife wounds. Their internal organs and tendons were also damaged. Dr. Wang, I'm really sorry this time, Sun Jingrong said sincerely. He knew that this time, he had brought a huge impact on the mountain village. Deal with the matter well. Don't bring any negative impact to the mountain village, Wang Yao said. He was very angry. This matter could not be separated from him. He just hoped that the villagers would not be affected. Sure, Sun Jingrong said. Several villagers who fell on the ground outside were carried to the car in time. They were then treated by Wang Yao. They were all poisoned. Wang Yao decocted a large amount of antidote with the antidote grass for them to take. The effect was good. They had been poisoned for a short time, so it was not particularly deep. It was inevitable that these people would be confused when they woke up. They had come out to see what was going on outside. How did they wake up on the Kong? It was fine that they had fainted. Why did their family members also faint? Yao, tell me the truth. What is going on? Someone came into our village last night and poisoned us, Wang Yao said. Poisoned? Why? Because of me, Sun Jingrong said. My son is here. They wanted to kidnap him. I'm sorry, Sun Jingrong said. He had thought about these words in advance. After discussing it with Wang Yao, he felt that it was feasible to say so. The cause of the incident at that time was actually the case. After hearing this explanation, they were very surprised. After all, this kind of thing used to be seen in movies and TV shows. They did not expect it to really happen, and it was right next to them. They really did not understand the world of the rich. Being neighbors with rich people not only gave them pressure, but also made them jealous. It was also King dangerous. This won't do. We have to join forces and chase this family out of the village. If this happens again, we will lose our lives. He was not the only one who had such thoughts. In the early morning, many residents did not get up to work. They were all asleep on the Kong. Wang Yao was a little worried. After checking Sun Jingrong's men who had also fainted, he confirmed that it was not a big problem. It was just a drug, and it was very effective. When the time came, they would naturally wake up. Let's wait and see. At noon, people woke up one after another. Hey, why do I have a headache after sleeping? Yeah, most people woke up, but some people did not wake up. They fell asleep forever. An old man, an 82-year-old man. Chapter 481. Wang Yao didn't speak for a long time after hearing the news. Someone had died because of this. I heard you. Is this what you did? Wang Yao asked the old man who was still alive. Although the old man was sick and had been punched by Wang Yao the night before, which made his injuries even worse, he survived tenaciously. This was also related to the fact that Wang Yao had injected a stream of qi into his body to save his life. The problem in the village had not been solved. There might still be residual insects. He kept him alive in hopes of reducing unnecessary trouble. Of course, it depended on whether he cooperated. At that age, it's also a relief to die in his sleep, Huang Zhiqing said. Take back all the insects, Wang Yao said coldly. We've taken back all the insects that can be taken back, Huang Zhiqing said. Some have already flown far away. At this point, he didn't have any other ideas. Revenge couldn't be taken. Is there any other way? No, Huang Zhiqing said. I didn't expect this. He sighed. When he came, he thought of all kinds of results, but he didn't expect to be defeated like this in such a small mountain village. I didn't expect to meet someone like you here, he said. I have nothing to say. It was not that they didn't prepare enough for this battle, but that the opponent was too strong. Not long after, he saw the body of his disciple. Qiao Yang. His voice was hoarse. He struggled to go forward to see and touch, but his body didn't listen to him at all. He couldn't help but cry. This disciple was half a son to him. Although he was a bit surly, he was very respectful to him. Over the years, he had done a lot of things for him, and a considerable number of them were not to be seen in public. For him, his hands were stained with blood. How could this be the result? He felt as if something had pierced his heart. It was very painful, very painful. It's you? He looked at Wang Yao. It's me, Wang Yao said calmly. The old man's body trembled. It was hatred. It was anger. Cough, cough, cough. The old man cried and coughed. Blood seeped from the corner of his mouth. Hao, live well. Don't think about revenge. This was the last message he left for his disciple. Thump! The old man fell backwards. Dead. Of course, this matter was not over yet. Sun Jingrong worked in the dark to minimize the impact of the whole thing. At the same time, he took out a portion of the money and distributed it to the villagers who were affected by this incident. The villagers in the village were shocked by his generosity. The police from the county and the city came to investigate within a certain range. They didn't alert too many people and then left. Before they arrived, Sun Jingrong's men had cleaned up the place where the battle had taken place in a very short period of time. All the bullet shells, arrows, and even the bloodstains have been cleaned up by them. Just from this point alone, you can't help but admire their abilities. The matter seemed to have ended just like that. Not many people would care about the dead. However, this matter was like a small butterfly flapping its wings. The change couldn't be seen now, but it could be seen in the future. That afternoon, Chun Buiyuan came to the mountain village. His purpose was very simple. He came to ask Wang Yao if he needed help with anything. It was also Mrs. Song's idea. No, thank you. Chun Buiyuan could see that Wang Yao's mood didn't seem to be as calm as usual. After chatting for a while, he didn't stay for long. Wang Yao didn't stay idle that day. He walked around the village, in the village, on the surrounding hills, and in the forest. He wanted to make sure that the terrible poisonous insects were not scattered in the village. Otherwise, it would be a problem in the future. There were poisonous insects. The insects were not much bigger than ants. The mountain village was surrounded by hills. It was very difficult to find them. This is troublesome, Wang Yao thought. He just hoped that in this cold winter, the bad weather could prevent the insect from breeding and spreading. This matter couldn't be completely covered up. It was the villagers who discovered the abnormality. The atmosphere in the village was a bit strange. Yeah, yes, uncle, what's the matter? You know that family, right? Yes, they came to see the doctor, Wang Yao said. Well, they left after seeing the doctor, right? Yes, that's good. This was not the first person to ask Wang Yao this question. It seems that the villagers are very worried, Wang Yao said to himself. Even though Sun Jingrong had compensated them, he couldn't comfort everyone. His parents insisted on coming back today, but they were stopped by Wang Yao. He couldn't explain it clearly over the phone, so he drove directly to his grandmother's house and briefly told them what had happened. After hearing this, the couple fell silent. The villagers, are they okay? Wang Fenghua asked. He was a loyal and kind person. If anyone in the village was hurt because of this incident, he would blame himself very much. Most of them are fine. An old man passed away. One person died? I've seen him. The old man passed away very peacefully. He was sick, Wang Yao said. He was comforting his father. Even if the other party was already over 80 years old, even if the other party had an old illness, no one could deprive him of the right to live. Perhaps he still had unfulfilled wishes. Who would want to live for 2 more years? If not for this matter, he might be able to live for 3 more years. Wang Fenghua didn't say anything after hearing that. He just smoked quietly. Looking at his expression, it was obvious that he was blaming himself. Dad, don't blame yourself too much, Wang Yao said. Okay. Wang Fenghua just responded. He still lowered his head and smoked. Wang Yao stayed at his grandfather's house for a while. He then drove home. It was getting late. He stayed at the herbal field, gently stroking the dog that was squatting next to him. San Xian, thank you and to Xia for your hard work, Wang Yao whispered. If they had desperately helped this time, he was afraid that the fire would have started. He couldn't imagine how much damage his forest would have been, but it certainly wouldn't be like this. Only a few dozen trees in the periphery were burnt. At the same time, it made him realize that the defense of the herbal field was simple. This time, it was only one person. If there was another person, there would be another group of people. I have to think of another way. He didn't go to sleep until late at night. The next morning, the clinic opened as usual. However, no one came to see the doctor in the morning. A few people from the village came, but they all came because of the incident that night. They all expressed their concerns. In the face of these elders, Wang Yao just explained. He didn't say much. It was useless to say more. Thousands of miles away in Jing, the sky was gloomy. Snow was falling. A beautiful family member sat in a wheelchair and looked at the falling snow outside. Her mind was elsewhere. Mom, did Sir have something urgent? Why did he leave in such a hurry? Yes, something urgent, Song Ruiping said. When she told her daughter that Wang Yao was in a hurry to go back because of something at home, she could see her daughter's deep disappointment. Do you need our help? I have asked Xuning to tell him, Song Ruiping said. If he needs our help, just let us know. Wei Yuan is also there. That's good. What is it? Su Xiaoxiu looked outside. She wanted to see it. That afternoon, Wang Yao had a simple meal. When he was about to go up the mountain, he met someone from the village. It was a middle-aged man with his son, a child of 7 or 8 years old. The child's face was blue, and his body was shaking. He was poisoned. Yao, can you take a look at Hausa? What's wrong with him? The middle-aged man anxiously asked. Don't worry. Put him down first. Wang Yao looked carefully. He was poisoned. In fact, it was insect poison. He was bitten by the insects released by those people. The treatment was not troublesome. Wang Yao simply boiled a cup of detoxification grass into water and then let him drink it. After waiting in the clinic for less than 10 minutes, the dark green color on his face began to recede. His complexion returned to normal, and then his breathing became smooth. It seemed that he was going to return to normal soon. Chapter 482. Wang Yao gave him a thorough check. All right, everything is fine now. Oh, thank you. How much is it? You don't have to, Uncle. That won't do. It's fine. By the way, Uncle, how did Hausa become like this? I don't know, the middle-aged man said. He went out with his mother today. When he came back, he was already like this. Where did they go? They went to Xia's grandmother's place. The middle-aged man thought for a moment and said, Well, okay, I got it. After seeing the father and son off, Wang Yao closed the door and went to the hill west of the village. In fact, he had already searched this place once, but after all, he did not leave any place behind. Moreover, he did not know the habits of these poisonous insects at all. It was very likely that these poisonous insects had flown into the villagers' homes, which made it even more difficult to search for them. As a result, he searched on Xia for nearly 2 hours and did not find a single poisonous insect. Maybe I should let San Xian go down the hill to have a look. Wang Yao suddenly thought of San Xian. He might be able to find something with his sensitive sense of smell. Hey, Dad, come and have a look. What's wrong with the sheep? In a house, a woman looked at the sheep on the ground and felt very strange. It was still fine when she got up in the morning. Why did it suddenly fall down with foam at the mouth without any warning? Let me see. The man came out of the house and looked for a long time, but he did not see anything. Hey, what did you feed it? Just hay, the woman said. TSK, that's strange. It seemed to be dying. What should we do? If it doesn't work, we'll kill it and eat it tomorrow, the man said. What if it gets sick? It's fine. We'll cook it and eat it. What can happen? The man did not care at all. Well, it's up to you. At night, Wang Yao wanted to take San Xian down the hill, but San Xian's condition made him cancel this plan. Although his injury recovered very quickly, it was still not as good as before. I want to take you down the hill, but wait a little longer. In order to heal the dog and goshawk, Wang Yao even applied the muscle revitalizing powder on them. This was a prescription provided by the system, so its medicinal power was naturally quite amazing. Moreover, the dog and the eagle were in this spirit-gathering array, so their physique had long surpassed that of the same species. Not to mention other things, just the fact that the dog looked like a lion showed that its physique was abnormal. Therefore, their injuries recovered very quickly. Yes, that night, the mountain village was quiet. At Sun Yunqing's home. Dad, go back. I'll take care of things here. Okay, I'll see Dr. Wang tomorrow, Sun Jingrong said. In the past 2 days, he had been busy with this matter. He had met a lot of people, most of whom were leaders in the county and city. He had decided to invest 50 million yuan in Lianshan County to build a machining center. This matter naturally made the leaders in the county very happy. Since he was one of the richest people in Qi province, they were naturally willing to make friends with him. With this investment, some things would be much easier to deal with. He was going to leave, but before he left, he wanted to see Wang Yao. He could not let this matter affect the relationship between the Sun family and him. At night, the small village was very quiet. A few families had a few chickens and ducks die. That was all. No one took it seriously. The next day, There were a few more meat sellers in the village. Why are you killing sheep? It's not a festival. I want to eat mutton. Hey, why are you killing so many chickens? They were screaming all night last night. It was strange. Kill them. This was the case in the village. Whoever killed pigs or sheep would sell the meat to the villagers if they could not eat it themselves. That morning, almost everyone in the village ate meat. When they gathered together to chat, they found that the problem was not quite right. There was indeed a problem with so many livestock suddenly dying in one night. What was going on? In the early morning, Wang Yao led San Xian down the hill. What the F***CK is that? The villagers were stunned when they saw San Xian. They had seen dogs, but they had never seen such a big dog. At first glance, they thought it was a lion. Yao, is this your dog? Some people in the village remembered that Wang Yao had a dog at home, but the dog seemed to be very small. Oh yes, I remember it was a very small yellow dog. How did it grow so big? How did you feed it? Ah, it's dog food. Dog food? What brand is it? Wang Yao was stunned. He then told them the brand of dog food he often bought for San Xian. However, he estimated that the dog raised by San Xian would not grow to this size, even if it ate 20 pounds a day. Everyone in the village who saw him asked him how the dog had grown. San Xian, let's change the road. In order to avoid further irritating the villagers, the man and the dog took a detour to the mountain road. San Xian, look for this bug. Wang Yao carried a dead poisonous bug with him. San Xian sniffed and began to search. Woof, woof. Soon, it found the body of a sparrow. It had stiffened. It was most likely frozen to death. San Xian stood in front of the body and barked a few times. Is there something in it? Wang Yao asked softly. Woof. It was unknown what it felt, but the body of the sparrow trembled slightly. Open. Wang Yao pressed the air, and the sparrow's body cracked open. Then a fishy smell came out, and a few poisonous insects flew out of it. Want to leave? Wang Yao gently pinched the sparrow, and several poisonous insects were crushed into pieces. Wang Yao carefully examined the sparrow and found that more than half of its internal organs had been eaten. Is it possible that this kind of insect can only live in special environments, such as the body of an animal? Wang Yao had an idea. Let's keep looking. What he found later confirmed Wang Yao's speculation. He found a few animal carcasses in the wild one after another, and 2 of the carcasses contained poisonous insects. This time, Wang Yao did not kill all of them. He kept 2 alive and put them in glass containers prepared in advance. He wanted to take them back for some experiments to study the growth characteristics of these poisonous bugs. Let's continue. A man and a dog walked around the mountain for the whole morning. They then returned to Nanshan Hill. He's not here. Sun Jingrong waited outside the clinic for a long time, but did not see Wang Yao. He did not call him. Come back in the afternoon. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao released the poisonous bug that was locked in a glass bottle. After the bug came out, it was a little afraid of him. It struggled to fly away, but it was blocked by an invisible air wall. Don't worry, Wang Yao said with a smile. He then put it back into the bottle. What are you interested in? Wang Yao thought for a moment. He took out a piece of meat from the house and opened the bottle cap. The bug flew out without hesitation and pierced into the meat. Carnivorous. He had known this for a long time. He had another idea, but he could not test it now. I like flesh and blood. What about the fear? Wang Yao thought for a moment. A leaf of grass appeared in his hand. It was miasma grass. It could avoid miasma and eliminate poisonous bugs. Come out. Wang Yao released his qi and forced the poisonous bug out of the meat. The poisonous bug immediately flew away. It flew less than 2 feet away and fell to the ground with a thud. Dead? It worked. He also knew why the poisonous insects were afraid of him and why they did not attack the dog and the goshawk. Staying in the herb field all day long, their bodies must have been contaminated with some special smell. Because these herbs had a special smell. Although it might not be able to smell it, it was indeed there. For example, the smell of the miasma grass made the poisonous insects not dare to come close. Fortunately, I caught one more, Wang Yao said with a smile. In the afternoon, when he went down the mountain, he met Sun Jingrong. He seemed to have been waiting outside the clinic for a while. Hello, Dr. Wang. "Hello, Mr. Sunday. Come in." After entering the clinic, Wang Yao made a cup of tea for him. "What's the matter?" Wang Yao asked. "Yes, about this matter, it's all my fault. I'm sorry to have caused so much trouble to the village," Sun Jingrong said solemnly. With his current status, he wouldn't easily say such words on a normal day. Chapter 483. "It's all in the past," Wang Yao calmly said. He had seen Sun Jingrong's compensation in the past few days. He had indeed put in a lot of effort. However, once some mistakes were made, they could no longer be remedied or reversed. For example, the dead old man. "I'm ready to leave. Do you have anything else to deal with?" "Not for the time being." "Okay." Sun Jingrong took a sip of tea. It was slightly bitter. Yunqing's illness? He knew that Wang Yao was not in a good mood, but there were some things that needed to be asked. He should be fine soon. That's good, that's good." Sun Jingrong breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, he was worried that Wang Yao would be angry because of this matter and directly cut off ties with them. Now, it seemed that it was not that far away. "Okay, I'll go first. Take care." After Sun Jingrong left the clinic, he went to Sun Yunqing's place. "I'll go back first. You, and how continue to be treated here? You have to be careful. After all, there was still one person who had not been caught." "Okay, don't worry. Pay more attention, not only to Dr. Wang's place, but also to the mountain village. If there are any problems, call me in time." "Okay, Dad." Sun Jingrong left the mountain village with worry. He still had a large family business to take care of and a lot of things to deal with. He could not stay in a mountain village all the time. In the afternoon, the sky began to become a little gloomy. The cold wind became colder. Wang Yao drove to pick up his parents. He had no choice. They insisted on coming home to live. Light snow fell near evening. It was in twos and threes, like torn pieces of paper. After returning home, Wang Yao told his parents in detail what had happened that night. Of course, the killing part was naturally excluded. The enemy of the Sun family came to seek revenge? Wang Fenghua took a deep puff of the cigarette and asked, "Yes, someone died?" "Yes," Wang Yao said. He could not tell his parents that he had killed a person with his own hands. That person had done a lot of evil and tried to burn down the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. There are still bugs. This kind of thing was not something that his parents, who were villagers, could understand or imagine. Strictly speaking, the three of them should belong to the category of strange people. Yes, according to Sun Jingrong, they're from Miaojiang and are good at raising goo-worms. The bugs haven't been cleared yet? "Yes, that's what I'm worried about," Wang Yao said. These poisonous insects were highly toxic, which was a big hidden danger in the mountain village and its surroundings. There was one thing he was not sure about, and that was whether these poisonous insects could reproduce in the current climate. If that was the case, it would be a big problem. "Don't go out to the mountains for the next few days." "Oh, okay." Wang Yao was still worried and gave his parents a cloth pouch each. "Carry these 2 pouches with you at all times. There are unique medicinal herbs inside, so those poisonous insects don't dare to come close." "Okay, be careful on the mountain." "Oh, I'm fine. They don't dare to come close," Wang Yao said. After dinner, Wang Jinli, the party secretary of the village, came to Wang Yao's house. They chatted for a while. Most of the time, it was just small talk, but Wang Yao understood what he was trying to express. It was okay to open a clinic, but try not to cause any trouble to the village. Of course, his expression was very vague. After all, Wang Yao was different from the past. He made friends with people who were either rich or noble. He did not dare to offend them. "Uncle, I see." "Oh, that's good." At about 9 p.m., Wang Yao was about to go up the mountain when someone rushed over. "Yao, go and have a look. My old man is dying." Wang Yao hurried over. The old man was bitten by a poisonous insect and was poisoned. When did this happen? He felt uncomfortable in the afternoon and had a fever. He thought he was cold when he went out to pick up grass, so he took some cold medicine, but he didn't get better. He still felt pain in his body, so he lay on the Kong for a while. He didn't get up for dinner at night. He said he had a headache. "Okay, I see." Wang Yao fed the old man the antidote that he carried with him. In less than 10 minutes, the old man slowly woke up and let out a long breath. The old man was already in his 70s. Wang Yao was still worried about the old man's poor health and other problems. He used neishi to massage the acupoints and dredge the channels and collaterals. Then he asked his family and found there was still a ginseng. He asked his family to cut a few slices of ginseng and boil it to nourish the old man's body. "Yeah, what's wrong with my dad?" asked Wang Yao. "He's poisoned. He should have been bitten by a poisonous insect or something. Look here." He found a wound on the old man's leg. It was red and blue around the wound. "It's winter. Snakes are hibernating. How can there be a poisonous insect? Besides, when did we have such a thing on the mountain?" The middle-aged man was puzzled. He had stayed in the village for so many years. He had only heard of people being bitten by dogs and scorpions. He had never even heard of snakes biting people. Today, he heard Wang Yao say that there might be a poisonous insect biting people on the mountain. He was very surprised. Deep down, he still didn't believe what Wang Yao said. In winter, the temperature was so cold. There were no mosquitoes or flies. Where did the insect come from? However, he didn't believe it. After all, the old man was saved. He had to thank the young man in the village. "Thank you, Yao. How much is it?" "You don't have to do it this time." Wang Yao waved his hand. "How can that be?" The man said, "It's really not necessary. Uncle, I'll go first." Wang Yao walked out of the house and went up the mountain. He found his father standing at the entrance of the alley with a cigarette in his mouth. "Dad, what's the matter?" he hurriedly asked. It was almost 11 p.m. It was still snowy outside. It was very cold. "Is he okay?" Wang Fenghua asked. "He's fine. It's cold. You should go back," Wang Yao said. "Was he bitten by the insect?" "Yes." The father and son walked home together. "You have to find a way to solve this problem." "Okay, I know." After sending his father home, he turned around and prepared to go up the mountain. "Be careful alone on the mountain," Wang Fenghua said. He was still worried about his son. "Okay, I know," Wang Yao replied. The snow became thicker. The wind in the sky stopped. The snow was floating quietly. Between heaven and earth, there was silence. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The sound of footsteps on the snow. Not long after, there was a light on Nanshan Hill. Poisonous insects. Wang Yao flipped through the information he could find, but the information mentioned very few poisonous insects. He had to think of other ways. The light went out. Nothing happened that night. Early the next morning, a car came to the mountain village. I hope he could be at home this time. Dufeng had been here twice in the past few days, for his illness and for his son. "Dad, the door is still closed, but I have asked. He has come back." Du Baozhan got into the car from outside and shivered. It was really cold today. "Let's wait here for now." The family waited on the roadside outside the clinic. They waited for 2 hours before they saw Wang Yao coming down from a mountain. "Dad, it's Dr. Wang. It's not a waste to come here." After opening the door, the family went into the clinic. The young man, named Du Baozhan, had a very healthy complexion. His face was ruddy and his eyes were spirited. This was the feeling of being full of energy from the inside out. However, in such a short period of time, he actually had such a change, which was really gratifying. "Well, you don't need to take drugs anymore," Wang Yao said with a smile. The young man had completely quit his drug addiction. "Have you been working out recently?" "Yes, I have a gym card and a gym near us. I work out for at least 2 hours a day," Duke Baozhan said. In the beginning, he was still a little tired. After all, his physical foundation was too poor. He had no habit of working out before. After only 1 week, he was addicted to working out because he felt the changes in his body. He liked the feeling of sweating through exercise. Chapter 484. Really, Du Baozhan was very happy to hear that. Although he could feel that his body was recovering very well during this time, and there were no signs of drug addiction at all, not even a little bit, he felt that there should be no problem. At this time, when he heard Wang Yao's words, he was naturally very happy. He felt like he had a second chance in life. Of course it's true. Don't touch these things in the future. Definitely. Du Baozhan was very determined. This was a huge impact on his life. It changed his view of life. From now on, he would embark on a different path. It was a crisis, but also a turning point. This was the situation. Thank you so much. A prodigal son is more valuable than gold. Wang Yao thought this young man was still worth saving. Can you please check my father's illness? Du Feng's heart disease had been treated by Wang Yao's decoction. During this time, he felt much better, especially in the chest area. He felt warm. He breathed smoothly and walked with strength. He didn't get sick. He felt that he was 10 years younger. This feeling was very good. He hoped it could continue. In addition, the young doctor in front of him had once said that his illness could be cured. Come on, let me have a look. Wang Yao checked him carefully. His condition had shown signs of improvement. If a person's heart was compared to an engine, then his current situation was like a malfunction that needed major repair. If it was repaired well, there would be no problem. He could continue to drive on the road of life. However, if it was not repaired, the whole car was likely to be scrapped. You are recovering. You haven't had a good rest these days, have you? It was hard work. He used his health to exchange for wealth and career. Yes, Du Feng said. Recently, there were more things to do in the company. Was it because it was the end of the year? Your living habits have to change. Otherwise, there is no need for treatment. Wang Yao was very calm. After hearing that, Du Feng's face changed. I will change. I will change. I will change, he said repeatedly. Yes, yes, yes. Our old Du will definitely change. His wife also agreed. Come to pick up the decoction tomorrow. They didn't tell him in advance before they came. Wang Yao didn't prepare the decoction in advance. Oh, okay, thank you. Take care. After the family of 3 left the clinic, they heaved a sigh of relief. Dad, don't worry about the company's affairs. If you go on like this, your body will collapse. What's the use of having so much money? Du Baozhan said. That's right. Old to your health is more important than anything else. Okay, I'll arrange it as soon as I go back. Don't worry about the company's affairs. Let's take care of ourselves first, Du Feng said. He could sense the meaning behind the young Dr. Wang's words. In fact, when the other party said those words, he didn't know why, but he felt afraid and broke out in a cold sweat. What was he afraid of? Naturally, he was afraid that Dr. Wang would not treat him because he did not cooperate. He was afraid that his body would further deteriorate. When people saw hope again, they were most afraid that the hope that had appeared with great difficulty would suddenly disappear. Du Feng was just like that. He had already decided that even if he didn't earn a single cent for the next few years, he would take good care of his body. Dozens of kilometers away, in Zhu City, some young men were gathering in a restaurant. Honglin, what have you been busy with recently? I haven't seen you for a long time. Hey, I'm at home, Sun Honglin said after taking a sip of wine. Where are Xiaofeng and Baozhan? They are all busy. At the mention of his 2 friends, he became angry. They used to be good friends who were inseparable from each other, but now they had parted ways. A few days ago, he found that he and Xiaofeng could not talk to each other, which made him very angry. Fortunately, his father went out to visit before the new year, so he took the opportunity to come out and relax. Thus, he invited a few of his friends to a tavern and had a drink. It was still snowing outside, but it was very warm in the room. Shall we go and have some fun later? No, it's boring. I know there are some good things. Sun Honglin was stunned after hearing that. What good things? A foreign woman. What? Several people at the table were stunned. Young men fantasized about luxurious cars and beautiful women, hoping to be romantic and elegant. Let's go and have a look. Sun Honglin looked at the wine glass in his hand. He hesitated. It was a temptation for him, a huge temptation. He was not as determined as his 2 friends. Go, go, go. Don't go, don't go. In his mind, 2 people were arguing and fighting. Hey, we'll talk about it later. Let's drink. Yes, drink. Young and frivolous, they drank fiercely at the table. Wine was a good thing. It could strengthen one's courage and blood. It was also a bad thing. Drinking too much would cause trouble and serious damage to one's stomach. These young men drank too much and staggered. No one knew who took the lead. They took 2 taxis and went to a certain place in Zhu City. Well, where is this? Sun Honglin was in a daze. It didn't take long for him to see a blonde woman with blue eyes. A foreigner? He was stunned. Give me something. He seemed to have heard something and drank something. Then he felt his whole body become very excited. It was as if the blood in his body was burning and needed to be released. Then the foreign woman came over. She seemed to be smiling, and she seemed to be naked. Go. At this moment, there was only one voice in his mind. As for the other voice, who knew where it went? Who the hell cared where it went? He just wanted to indulge himself and release all the suppression he had been suppressing for the past few days. When he woke up again, he found himself lying on the bed naked. He had a headache and no strength in his body. A blonde woman with blue eyes was lying next to him. Her skin was very white, and she was very voluptuous. Other than that, there was nothing else. She could only be regarded as ordinary. You are great, the woman said to him with a smile. Her Chinese was very stiff. This sentence made Sun Honglin feel a sense of satisfaction and pride that he had never felt before. He even wanted to immediately turn over and get on the horse, but his body did not listen to him. Ha ha, the foreign woman laughed. She seemed to know what he was thinking. Suddenly, he was a little shy and angry. As a man, he had to do it. Try this. The woman showed him a medicine tablet. This. Sun Honglin was a little hesitant. Don't be afraid, the woman said softly. What was there to be afraid of? Wasn't it just a small tablet? He took it. Then his body became hot and full of strength. He rushed up to the clouds and wanted to swim to his heart's content. Not long after, he fell down again. It was like a plane running out of fuel. Phew, so tired. It felt like his body was hollowed out. When he came out of the room, he felt that he had no strength in his body. He could not even walk. Hey, how is it? His friend came up to him and asked, How is it? Don't you know? I'm keeping watch outside for you, he said with a smile. Ah, so tired. Let's go quickly. As soon as he went out of the door, the cold wind whistled. Sun Honglin's body trembled. He felt that the clothes on his body did not seem to work at all. It was as if he was standing outside naked. The biting cold had frozen his whole body. It's so cold. Before he left, he turned back to look at this place. How is it? Will you come again in the future? We'll see. In the wind and snow, the young people went home. In the mountain village, after lunch, Wang Yao went out with a jar. Before going out, Zhang Xiuing asked curiously, What are you going to do with this? It's wonderful. He went out with the jar and went to the village. He started from the place where the fierce battle had taken place. When he arrived, he opened the jar. It was blood, pig's blood. It had not yet solidified and exuded a bloody smell. At the same time, he locked his breath and did not release it. He had done an experiment in the morning and found that these poisonous insects had a crazy liking for fresh blood. Therefore, he thought of this method. He wanted to try and see if he could use the fresh blood to attract the poisonous insects that were scattered all over the place. In fact, the number of poisonous insects was not particularly large. He was worried that they would reproduce under certain conditions. Chapter 485. That was what he was worried about. The weather was very cold, and the smell of blood was particularly pungent. Wang Yao walked slowly, watching and waiting. He walked around the alley on the west cliff, but he did not see a single insect. He did see a few people from the village. They were puzzled by the young man walking around with a jar of pig's blood. Yao, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm just walking around, uncle. Walking around with a jar of pig's blood? Who was he trying to fool? What's wrong with this child? Nothing. Wang Yao stood on a slope of the hill, slightly disappointed. He had not found a single poisonous insect so far, but he had attracted a few dogs from the village. They had followed the smell. Was this method wrong? Wang Yao walked around the west side of the village and the hill for the whole afternoon, but he did not find anything. He went down the hill and returned home. How was it? His mother, who knew what he was doing, asked. I didn't find any poisonous insects. Maybe my idea was wrong, Wang Yao said. Well, wash your hands and eat. It was very cold at night. In a nearby city, in a certain household, a young man was lying on the bed, feeling uncomfortable all over. Since Sun Honglin came out of the special shop, he felt that his body was floating and empty. Now, there was an itch in his heart. He wanted to do something, but he did not know what to do. At the same time, there was a feeling of dryness and thirst. Honglin, it's time to eat, his mother shouted in the living room. Yes, I know, the young man said weakly. What's wrong with you? His mother waited outside for a while. Seeing that her son did not come out, She pushed the door open and saw him lying on the bed listlessly. "What's wrong?" She hurried forward and asked. "Nothing, Mom. You eat first. I'll lie down for a while." "Okay. You really don't feel uncomfortable?" "No, Mom. Really." He lay on the bed and looked at the ceiling, still thinking about what happened during the day. "I'll go again. I can't go again. I definitely can't go again." The two little people quarreling appeared in his mind again. So noisy. He scratched his head. The next day, Zhou Wui, accompanied by Zhou Xiong, came to the mountain village after learning that Wang Yao had returned. The old man's body had recovered very well, and he was very energetic. "Hello, Dr. Wang. Come, have a seat." Looking at his complexion, he was in high spirits. Listening to his voice, he was full of confidence. "Let me take a look." He checked it carefully. "Yes, I'll probably recover after 2 more treatments," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Great, great," Zhou Wei said happily. There was no need to continue using the blood deblinking powder. Wang Yao switched to acupuncture and neishi. He used the silver needle to pierce the acupoints and then used it as a guide to transfer his inner qi into it, soothing the tendons and unblocking the meridians, setting things right. In fact, the improvement of the body was not the most obvious. Wang Yao felt that the most obvious change in the old man in front of him came from his spirit and his mood. He had become much calmer and more peaceful. He was no longer like the first time he saw him. He was like a fierce tiger. Although the tiger was old, it was still strong. At this time, the old man was like an old pine in the mountain and a wild crane in the forest. He was more peaceful and indifferent. After the treatment, Zhou Xiong chatted with Zhou Wui and said, "During this period, Uncle has been very obsessed with the Taoist scriptures. Is that so?" "That a good thing," Wang Yao said. "Yes, it's a good thing. I can feel the change in my mentality," Zhou Wui said with a smile. In fact, a considerable number of diseases were related to emotions, such as sadness, anger, and fear. The long-term accumulation of negative emotions could easily stimulate the body, causing the body's functions to be adversely affected. Over time, diseases would occur. A smile could make you 10 years younger. An optimistic personality could prevent people from being troubled by many diseases. "By the way, there's one more thing," Zhou Xiong said. "What is it?" "This." Zhou Xiong took out an invitation. It was red and festive. "This is?" Wang Yao opened the invitation and had a look. "Zhou Xiong. Sha Jihua. Are you going to get married?" Wang Yao thought of the beautiful woman. That night, he had almost made a big mistake. "Yes," Zhou Xiong said. He really liked the woman. Through this period of time, he could also see that the woman was a virtuous woman. The two of them had been together for a period of time. Their tempers got along well. His son also liked the woman and the little sister she gave birth to. The two of them discussed for a while, and the marriage was settled. Originally, the two of them were getting married for the second time. There was no big celebration. However, there were a few tables here. The guests were all relatives and friends of Sha Jihua. Zhou Xiong only had a few friends, including Wang Yao. "Come to the wedding banquet." Of course, Wang Yao said. Zhou Xiong was a man of affection and righteousness. Wang Yao was also happy for him. There was only one patient in the morning. Then, near noon, Pan Jun drove over. He had come with questions. The questions were all related to acupoints and meridians. He asked very carefully. It could be seen that he had put in a lot of effort in private during this period of time. Wang Yao answered very carefully. The two of them asked and answered questions. Unknowingly, more than an hour had passed. Then, a person came to see the doctor and interrupted them. The person who came to see the doctor was a middle-aged man from the village. He had a fever and a headache. It was just a common cold. Wang Yao prescribed him a few medicine. They were all medicine to clear heat and reduce internal heat. He could boil water and drink it when he went back. "Thank you, Yao. You're welcome." After seeing the patient off, he chatted with Pan Jun again. "When are you free to go to my uncle's place to have a look? I really want to talk to you about this. How about tomorrow morning?" "Okay, I'll talk to him now." Pan Jun was happy to hear that. "How is the old man's recovery?" Wang Yao asked. "He's recovering well. He was lying on the column before, but now he can sit up and move around in a wheelchair," Pan Jun said emotionally. He had been to his uncle's place several times. In the end, he even saw his uncle trying to walk a few steps with the help of the wall. It was really surprising. It would be great if you could go to our hospital. Pan Jun said this more than once. Of course, it was just to express his emotion. The situation in the county hospital was now that the threshold for professional students had been raised to the level of graduate students. It was not like a few years ago when all graduates of the medical school could do it. Now, there were a lot of college students with the same idea. Some of them could not find a job. When it was close to evening, Pan Jun said goodbye and left. It was another day. It was a very dull day. At night, Wang Yao quietly read the medical book on the hill. When he felt something, he would stop and make some notes. Ring. Buzz. There was a phone call from Jing. Hello. Hello. Sir, this is Su Xiaoxue. A very pleasant voice came from the other end of the phone. It was as lively as an oriole in the forest or a spring flowing in the mountains. Oh, hello. Wang Yao was a little surprised. He did not expect the other party to call him at this time. Sir, your matter has been handled. Su Xiaoxue asked softly as she leaned against the headboard. She knew that Wang Yao must have something urgent to deal with. The first time she called, Wang Yao didn't pick up. She called him again, but he still didn't pick up. After that, she didn't continue to call him, but waited until now. It has been handled. Thank you. Wang Yao suddenly remembered that this phone number seemed to have called him twice before. At that time, he was busy dealing with the matter, so he did not answer. He did not expect it to be her call. That's good. When will you come to Jing again? Well, it will take some time, Wang Yao said. He definitely had to go in the near future, because both of them were at a critical stage of their illness. His task was less than a month away. Well, remember to call me before you come, Su Xiaoxue said. Okay, you should rest early and take good care of your body. Yes, sir, you should also take care of your body. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. On the other end of the phone, Su Xiaoxue's face was red. She did not know why her heart was beating fast. She was very happy. Chapter 486. I'll come again, Wang Yao said. That night, she had a very sweet dream. She dreamed that she had recovered from her illness and was able to walk on the ground. Then, she traveled around the capital with her teacher. They visited every scenic spot. It was a sunny day in March. She laughed out loud in her sleep. The sun was shining in the morning. The snow in the weather forecast did not fall. Not even a snowflake could be seen. There is not much snow this year, Zhang Xiaoying said when they went down the hill for breakfast. Such weather was not a good thing for crops. Wheat needed snow to survive the winter. It was easier to catch a cold in such dry and cold weather. I have to go out in the morning to see a patient. I won't be back for lunch, Wang Yao said. Okay, drive carefully, Wang Yao said. Okay, Wang Yao said. He drove out and bought some gifts on the way. What are you doing? Wang Yao asked. When he took the gifts to see the old man and his wife said they did not want the gifts. I didn't even give you money to see the doctor, and now you have to spend money. You can't do that, Pan Jun said. It's okay. I have an affinity with you too, Wang Yao said with a smile. After arguing for a while, the old man and his wife accepted the gifts. Wang Yao began to treat the old man. Just as Pan Jun had said, the old man had been recovering well during this period of time. The most important thing was that the blocked blood vessels in his brain had been unblocked. The reason why his body could not move normally was that he had been lying on the Kong for several years. His muscles had atrophied. After being stimulated by Wang Yao's decoction, his muscles began to recover. However, it would take time. Just like a seed planted under the ground, it could not grow and germinate overnight. Let's take the decoction first. Wang Yao brought the old man a decoction to strengthen the corporeity. He added ingredients to promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. After taking the decoction, he massaged the acupoints to help the absorption and use of the decoction. After these 2 stages of treatment, he stopped. The old man needed to rest for the decoction to spread throughout his body. In fact, treatment was also a test for the patient. It was very tiring. Treatment was different from massage and hot springs. It was not as comfortable. Come on, eat some fruits. This is the dried sweet potato that we rely on. The old man took out all the delicious foods that could be taken out of the house. Auntie, don't be busy. Sit down. How's your leg? I'm fine. I feel much better after you gave me an injection last time, the old man said with a smile. Let me take a look again, Wang Yao said. Take a seat and have some tea. All right. The tea was fragrant and slightly bitter. Wang Yao took a look at the old lady's legs. There wasn't anything wrong with them, but he still gave her a massage and used his neishi to stimulate the meridians in her legs to promote the flow of qi and blood. You should pay more attention to your body and take proper supplements, Wang Yao said. As people aged, their bodily functions would begin to degenerate. This was the law of nature, and no one could go against it or avoid it. Therefore, it was necessary to delay the aging of the body through various means, such as regular exercise and appropriate supplements. Well, I've started drinking milk powder recently. My son bought it from me, the old woman said. Well, that's right, Wang Yao said. How do you feel? The old woman asked. Very good. My legs are warm. It's like I have a hot water bag on my legs. It's very comfortable. Leg pain was a common disease of the elderly. It was more common in the village. It had a lot to do with overwork and not paying attention to maintenance. The old woman had this problem. It also had a lot to do with working hard when she was young. As she got older, these problems began to appear. Her legs and waist hurt. It was worse when the weather was cold and wet. She didn't dare to go out in the winter. The cold wind made it worse. It was so painful that she couldn't walk. After being treated by Wang Yao twice, she felt much better. Her legs almost didn't hurt anymore. She also felt more energetic when she walked. After a while, Wang Yao gave acupuncture to the old woman lying on the con. This time, he didn't give acupuncture to the head, but to the torso and limbs. The purpose was to stimulate the muscles in her body and promote their recovery as soon as possible. Only in this way could the old woman resume her normal life. Silver needles were inserted into the old woman's body. From time to time, the needles would twist, lift, and rub. How do you feel? He had to pay attention to the old woman's feelings at all times and adjust the degree of acupuncture. Acupuncture was not finished after the needles were inserted. The dazzling acupuncture methods shown on TV were all lies. After the treatment, the old woman only felt that some parts of her body were numb, some parts were hot, and some parts were slightly swollen and painful. After the acupuncture was finished, Wang Yao was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he waited for a while to make sure that the old woman was fine before he left. The two elders insisted that Wang Yao stay for dinner. Wang Yao used the excuse that he already had an appointment with a friend as an excuse to refuse. However, before he left, the old man still gave him some food, such as some fried eggs, fried peanuts, and dried sweet potatoes that he made himself. These are all food. In fact, Wang Yao also had some food at home, but he still accepted it. It was a gesture of friendship. If he didn't accept it, the old man would feel even more uncomfortable. You should go back. It's quite cold outside. Okay, drive safe. The old woman didn't go back until she saw Wang Yao's car turn out of the village. What a good man, the old couple exclaimed. Wang Yao was not a philanthropist. He would treat anyone's illness and give medicine for free. He felt that he had a special affinity with the old couple, so he could treat them for free and provide them with medicine, even licorice roots. However, there were some people he didn't like. Even if they knelt on the ground and begged him with money in a sack, he wouldn't treat them, such as the guy named Chu Yang. Hey, master, if you treat patients like this, will you lose money? Pan Jun asked. It was the first time he had seen someone treat patients for free. He even brought gifts to visit the patients. I like it, Wang Yao said. Yes, he could be willful as long as he liked it. He had the right and ability to do so. Wang Yao didn't drive home. Instead, he went to Lianshan County with Pan Jun. He had an appointment with Tian Yuan-tu and the others to have dinner and chat. Except for Wang Mingbao, who went to the mountain village in Jia County to connect with Miss Han, everyone else came. They hadn't gathered together for a long time. They chatted and laughed, talking about all sorts of things. It was quite lively. In this way, the whole afternoon passed. When Wang Yao went back, it was already past 5 p.m. There were 2 guests at home. They were both villagers chatting. Why do you want to move out? I've long wanted to live in the city. When I met the young man named Sun today, I heard that his family is also in the real estate business. They're going to build a community in a good location in the county. The price is very cheap for the villagers. After listening to the conversation between them, Wang Yao understood why they came. The real estate company under the group, controlled by Sun Jingrong, was going to build a batch of commercial housing projects in Lianshan County. This was also one of his investments. In the face of such a financial group moving in, the county was naturally welcome. At the same time, he also asked Sun Yunsheng to tell the villagers that if they went to Lianshan County to buy a house under the group's name, they could give them a very good price. This was also another kind of compensation for what happened that night. For example, the couple in front of him had just reached the age of 40. The man himself worked in Lianshan County. The child was also studying in the county. They had long wanted to buy a house in the county. However, in recent years, their income had not increased much. The price of the house was indeed increasing. They were also anxious. Suddenly, they had such an opportunity. Naturally, they were very happy. They knew that the young man asked Wang Yao to treat him here. They also wanted to ask Wang Yao to help them to see if the price could be reduced. Okay, I got it, Wang Yao said. Thank you. The couple left with a smile. Now, there are fewer and fewer people in the village. Young people have bought houses outside. No one wants to come back to live. A few old houses are empty. I also heard that a few people are going to move out. Some are going to the town, and some are going to the county. If it goes on like this, in another 8 years, there will only be some old people left in the village, Zhang Xiaoying said with emotion. Chapter 487. Such situations were common nowadays. Wang Yao had been to several other villages in the county, especially 1 or 2 relatively remote places. The empty nest phenomenon was more serious there. More than half of the villages were uninhabited. In comparison, Wang Yao's hometown was relatively better. Maybe in 10 or 20 years, people living in big cities will find a way to live in the countryside again, Wang Yao said with a smile. Compared to the city, the countryside also had its own advantages. The most important thing was that the living environment was good. The air was fresh and there was no pollution. Most of the food was homegrown and healthy. In fact, many people from big cities had already chosen to buy houses in small cities with less pollution, which were suitable for living. For example, in Hike City, many people from the capital had bought houses here. Every summer, they would come to Hike City to escape the summer heat. This was a change caused by the changing times. However, it was not necessarily a bad thing to have fewer people. At least, that was what Wang Yao thought. Dad, have you been smoking less recently? After dinner, when Wang Yao gave his parents a massage, he heard that his father was a little short of breath. He checked his father. There was no big problem, but he had to reduce his smoking. He did not want his father to quit smoking. He was clear about his father's hobby. He could drink less. As for cigarettes, he could not smoke. Well, okay, Wang Fenghua said. He had been a little addicted to smoking recently. The mountain village was very quiet at night. Wang Yao walked alone on the cement road and then went into the distant mountains. Not long after, a light lit up on Nanshan Hill. The night gradually deepened. Bah! In the middle of the night, a sheep was softly calling. This was actually a very unusual thing. If you had a sheep at home, you would find that this animal was actually very timid, especially at night. It almost did not make any sound. It was also the easiest livestock to steal. However, at night, it called, and it was very loud. What's wrong? In the house, the wife poked her husband, who was still sleeping. What? The sheep is calling outside. Go out and have a look, the woman said. Calling? Why didn't I hear it? The man rubbed his eyes and listened carefully. He did not hear any sound. The two of them listened carefully. There was indeed no sound outside. Did you hear wrongly? Are you dreaming? I really heard it just now. Go out and take a look. Okay, I'll go out and take a look. Unable to dissuade his wife, the man put on a coat and went outside with a flashlight. He shone the flashlight on the sheep pen and found that the sheep were still there. There was nothing unusual. Then, he went around the yard again. After confirming that there was no problem, he went into the house. Are you all right? It's nothing. You must have heard wrong. Hurry up and go to sleep. And the woman looked outside again. She had clearly heard it. It was really strange. The next morning, a sheep died in the sheepfold. The hostess found it when she got up to go to the toilet. What's going on? A sheep could be sold for a few hundred yuan. Moreover, this was a female sheep that could give birth to sheep. The man didn't say anything. He looked carefully and patted the dead sheep's stomach. Something was not right. Cut it open and see. Most people didn't know how to kill a sheep. Don't think that killing a pig or a sheep is easy. Stabbing it with a knife is enough. This is actually a skill. He specially invited a villager in the village who knew how to kill sheep and then cut the sheep open. What the F***CK? What the F***CK is this? When they cut open the sheep's stomach, they found a lot of black spots were still moving inside. It was as if a large number of insects were moving on the rotten meat. It made people's scalps tingle. Insects. Everyone who saw all this turned pale and shivered all over. This scene was too frightening. The sheep's stomach had been swallowed by the horrible insects. The internal organs were full of holes. The insects were about to spread in all directions. Burn it with fire, someone shouted at the top of his lungs. Immediately, someone brought gasoline and set the sheep on fire. The fire was fierce, and a disgusting smell spread out. There was a crackling sound. Why are there insects in a sheep? Seeing this scene, people were very surprised and worried. Fomin, what did you feed your sheep? Someone asked. Nothing? His face was still pale. He hadn't come back to his senses. If one sheep looked like this, would the rest of the sheep in the house look like this too? Would his family be okay? For a moment, he thought a little too far. Then, he ran back home like a madman. What's wrong? Why are you in such a hurry? Did you sell the sheep? His wife asked unhappily when she saw him come back. Why didn't you wipe the blood on your hands? Where's Hao Xiang? The man asked anxiously. He's in the house. What's wrong? The man rushed into the house and found his son happily playing with building blocks. Dad, let's go see the doctor. He carried the child and walked out. What are you doing? It's so cold outside. The woman came in and said. She felt her husband's behavior was very strange today. Put some clothes on him. Let's go see Yao, Wang Fomin said. What's wrong? The woman asked. The sheep that died today had worms in its stomach. Black worms. He couldn't help but shiver at the mention of the worms. Worms? Where did the worms come from? The woman's face changed. How would I know? What if the worms entered our body? This was what he was most worried about. A lot of worms were in his stomach. Just thinking about it made him scared. Let's go. The woman hurriedly put clothes on her son. Then, the family went outside the clinic. Not long after Wang Yao went down the hill, he heard the sound of someone opening the door and entering the clinic. The sound of the door closing was very loud. He frowned. Then, he saw a family from the same village rushing in. Uncle, Auntie, Yao. Quickly check if there are worms in Hao Xiang's stomach, the man anxiously said. Worms! Wang Yao was stunned. What worms? Hurry up and check. Wang Yao hurriedly diagnosed the 6 or 7-year-old child after hearing that. Could it be that the worms have already entered the villagers' bodies? However, after a careful examination, he found that the child's body was healthy and normal. There were no parasites at all. He's fine. He's fine? That's good. Wang Fomin was relieved. Can you check your aunt and me to see if there are any problems with us? Wang Fomin asked. Okay. Wang Yao was not in a hurry to ask the reason. Instead, he checked their condition first. There are no worms in your body and your aunt's body. However, you have stones in your kidney. You have to be careful, Wang Yao said. What? Stones? Yes, kidney stones. Wang Yao said. But it's not a big problem. You should drink more water and jump hard. It's very likely that the stones will be expelled. Drink less wine and eat less meat in the future. Kidney stones were mostly caused by irregular work and rest. Now, can you tell me why you suspect there are worms in your stomach? Don't mention it. Wang Fomin immediately told Wang Yao what had happened in the morning. Poisonous insects. As soon as he heard that, Wang Yao immediately realized that the worms were most likely the poisonous insects left by Huang Zhiqing that night. This was troublesome. What he was most worried about had happened. These poisonous insects could reproduce, and according to him, Their reproduction speed was quite amazing. This was a very scary thing. Just as the couple was worried, what if these poisonous insects entered the human body? Uncle, I'll go to your house with you. Wang Yao was still a little uneasy. Okay. When they arrived at the man's house, he carefully checked the other sheep. Yao, you know about veterinary medicine? Wang Fengmin asked curiously. He had only heard that the young man in the village had good medical skills, but he had never heard that he could treat livestock. Wang Yao did not know this, but he had fed medicine to San Xian from time to time when he was on the mountain. Therefore, he had a certain understanding of the physical condition of animals. In fact, in the way of medicine, humans and animals had similarities. Moreover, on this planet, animals were actually equal. Chapter 488. There should be no problem with these sheep, Wang Yao said. Of course, this was only a rough judgment. He could not check the sheep's pulse or look at their complexion. The safest way is to kill them all, he said truthfully. Kill them all. Wang Fengmin frowned. In the village, they relied on the sky and the earth to make a living. Every year, in addition to the grain from the few acres of land in the middle of the village, they relied on raising some livestock to make money. In recent years, the price of mutton had risen rapidly. Almost every family in the village had a few sheep, hoping to buy some money. He had just killed a ewe today. If he killed these sheep, he would have to pay a few thousand yuan on credit. It was already the end of the year. He was reluctant to do so. What if Wang Yao was wrong? Yao, is there no other way? Wang Fengmin asked. I can't think of a better way, Wang Yao said. After all, he did not know how to treat livestock. If the insects spread because of livestock, it would be troublesome. Sheep were better off because they were kept at home in the winter. If it was an animal like dogs that liked to run around, it would be troublesome. Let's think about it again, Wang Fengmin said. He was reluctant to kill all the sheep at home. Sheep could be infected with the insects. What about chickens and ducks? Was it possible? Yao, where did these things come from? Why didn't I remember having them before? Wang Fengmin asked. They were brought in from somewhere else, Wang Yao said after hesitating for a while. Where did they come from? How do you kill them? Well, I'm not very sure. When he left the family, Wang Yao thought a lot. This matter was somewhat out of control. He must find a way to stop this trend. He called Sun Jingrong and briefly explained the situation here. There was only one purpose, which was to ask him to find a way to find such people. Huang Zhiqing and his two disciples were definitely not the only ones who knew about this line of work. It was difficult to find people in Qi province. He estimated that he would have to find people from Nanjiang. Okay, I'll be there as soon as possible, Sun Jingrong replied. Today, after lunch, Wang Yao began to wander around the village. After circling around the village, he went up the mountain from west to east and circled around the mountain. At night, he specially took a large piece of raw meat from home and stuffed it into a bottle containing a poisonous bug. The bug immediately burrowed into the meat. Wang Yao wanted to do an experiment to see if this kind of insect could reproduce alone. What were the characteristics of its reproduction? The next day, Wang Yao took out the bottle and found that a large piece of meat was missing. Moreover, it was beginning to turn black as dark liquid dripped out. It was as viscous as oil and as black as ink. Then, he used a small knife to gently cut open the meat. As a result, he found that the meat inside had already turned black. There was still only one worm, but it secreted a large amount of toxins. This was also the reason why once a poisonous worm entered the body, the human body would rapidly weaken and feel as if it was suffering from serious illness. No reproduction? Was the method wrong or not enough time? Wang Yao resealed the bottle cap and put it into the grid of the system. In the morning, a car came to the village. Su Changhe accompanied Lu Xiaomei to the village again. When he saw the woman again, her complexion was much better than before. She was a little more radiant. After thinking for a period of time, she had also thought things through. She was no longer angry and had let go of the grievances in her heart. Her mood was better and her spirit was cheerful. Naturally, her state of the whole person was naturally different. Please check her again, Lu Xiaomei said. Okay. Wang Yao checked her again. Very good. It has been controlled and is in the stage of recovery. That's great. Thank you, Lu Xiaomei said with a smile. Come to pick up the medicine tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Su Chang'e talked with Wang Yao for a while. The two of them left. As soon as they left, Sun Yunxing came again. This was the first time he had come to the clinic in a few days. Uncle Lin and brother Hao both needed someone to take care of them. He was also injured and had difficulty moving, so he did not come. I'm really sorry. This was the first sentence he said after seeing Wang Yao. It's over. You don't have to say sorry. Try to make up for your mistakes as much as possible, Wang Yao said. Well, when are you free to go and see Uncle Lin and brother Hao? The two of them were seriously injured. They were still lying in bed. How about tomorrow morning? Okay. Next, he treated Sun Yunxing. The yang toxin in his body had been completely removed. Even the part hidden in the deepest part of his internal organs had been removed. All that was left was for his body to recover. Well, the yang toxin in your body has been removed. The rest is appropriate exercise and supplements to recover your body. Really? Sun Yunxing was very excited after hearing this. Of course. Thank you so much. Okay. In another city, dozens of miles away, Sun Honglin came to the special shop again, alone. Then he asked for the foreign woman with big breasts and long legs. He was addicted to drugs. He couldn't help but do it again. This time, he galloped above the clouds to his heart's content, which was an extremely exciting and proud thing. He felt that he had conquered the wild horse of a foreign country, which was something to be proud of. Then, his body was extremely empty. It was a physical and spiritual emptiness. His hair was swollen and dizzy. He was a little short of breath. He felt that there was not enough air. Cough, cough, cough. He coughed a few times. After a while, he came to his senses. He put on his clothes and left. When he opened the door, the cold wind was like a knife, piercing his clothes and skin. It was so cold, he shivered all over. He felt that he had fallen into an ice cellar. He didn't walk far before he hailed a taxi. Young man, you don't look good. Are you okay? The driver was warm-hearted and kindly reminded him. Really? Sun Honglin said weakly. He didn't want to do anything now. He just wanted to go home and lie in bed to have a good sleep. Yes, the driver said. He asked where he was. The driver was here. He went to the outside of the residential area. Drive in, sir. He didn't want to take a step now. The key was that he didn't have the strength. Okay. The driver drove all the way to his building. Sun Honglin walked upstairs with light steps. Ah, this young man really doesn't take care of his body. As an experienced driver, he could roughly guess what the young man in the car had gone to do, but he didn't point it out. Too much romance was extremely harmful to the body. Looking at him just now, it was obvious that he had gone to that kind of place. When Sun Honglin returned home, there was no one at home. He went to his room and fell to the ground without taking off his clothes. I'm so tired. He stared blankly at the ceiling. He felt very tired, but he couldn't sleep when he closed his eyes. There were always some messy things in his mind, which gave him a terrible headache. What's wrong with me? He had a feeling that his mind was in a mess. Honglin, it's time to eat. After his mother came back from shopping, she made a table full of good food because her husband would also come back today. I don't want to eat. A weak voice came from the room. What's wrong? The woman came in and saw her son's pale face. Oh, what's wrong with you? She hurried forward to check on him. Nothing, Mom. I just don't feel well. I want to sleep for a while. Well, you sleep for a while. Near evening, Sun Desheng came back from a business trip. Looking at the table full of sumptuous dinner and hot wine, he felt that the tiredness of the past few days had dissipated a lot. Where's Honglin? He's not feeling well. He's sleeping in his room, the woman said. How has he been these days? Is he obedient? He's good, the woman said. Let's eat first. Okay. After drinking 2 glasses of wine, his face was red. In another room, Sun Honglin fell asleep, but his breathing was a little rapid. He felt like he was having a nightmare. Leave some of his favorite food, such as braised pork and lamb chops, for him. Although Sun Desheng seemed to be very strict with his son, he actually loved his son very much. Chapter 489. After the couple finished eating, his wife went to wake up her son. She found her son had fallen asleep. How is he? He's asleep, his wife said. Don't wake him up, Sun Deshang said. He chatted with his wife for a while. Because he had been busy recently, he went to bed early. Early in the morning, smoke floated up from the hill. Sephora flavescens, Smilax tuber, Toerki, Bajiatong, and Lingshanji. Wang Yao got up early and started to decoct the decoction. This decoction was specially made for Lu Xiaomei to treat her chronic illness. It was cold early in the morning. It was the coldest time of the year. Therefore, some people liked to sleep in. It was normal. The villagers got up early to feed the livestock. Wang Fengmin got up early. The first thing he did after getting up was to check on his sheep in the sheep pen. He was afraid that if there were any problems with the sheep, he would not be able to find a place to cry. Wife, did you hear the sheep bleating last night? No. Didn't you get up twice last night? Yes. The sheep in the sheep pen were fine. I think we should just sell these sheep, Wang Fengmin said. Sell them? What if there are worms in their bodies? His wife was worried. So be it. We are not eating them, Wang Fengmin said. Is that appropriate? What's inappropriate about it? In the end, his wife did not argue with her husband. She tacitly agreed. Wang Fengmin called his contacts and planned to sell the sheep in the sheep pen in the morning. He did not have to worry about them at home all day. On the hill, Wang Yao went down the hill after decocting the decoction. In the morning, a few people came to see him. They all had headaches and leg pain. However, it was not easy to cure them. Wang Yao's main reputation now was that he was especially good at treating leg pain and headaches. A few people came to see him. They did not take any injections or medicine. They just gave him a massage and acupuncture. It was not an advertisement. It sounded very simple, but there was a lot of knowledge in it. The few people left happily one after another. TSK, he is really good. My leg was quite painful when I came. It kept on hurting. Now it is warm. It doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, I didn't expect him to be so capable at such a young age. He's really good at treating leg pain and headaches. My son saw it on WeChat. Wang Yao didn't know that his name had already spread across the internet. Of course, some people said that his treatment was miraculous, while others scolded him. However, Wang Yao didn't know about these things. At noon, when he went home for lunch, he heard a piece of news. Then, he went out without eating. Where are you going? Zhang Xiuying asked. Buying sheep. He didn't expect that the elder didn't listen to him and chose to sell the sheep so carelessly. If there was really a problem with the sheep, how should he deal with it? When he was halfway there, he suddenly stopped. This is just one family. What if there are other families in the village selling cattle and sheep? Thinking of this, he arrived at Wang Fengmin's house. The sheep had already been sold out and had been taken away. How can you sell it? Why can't I sell it? Wang Fengmin was not happy to be scolded by a young man in the village. He happened to be angry about this matter in the past few days. All of a sudden, his anger was aroused. What if there are worms in the sheep's body? I didn't ask you to eat it. Why do you care so much? Wang Yao was speechless. Mind your own business. Who did you sell it to? I won't tell you, the man said angrily. How can you say that? Yao, don't lower yourself to the level of your uncle. He sold it to Lao Li, who opened the mutton soup in the village. Wang Yao knew that man. He often came to the village to collect sheep. Wang Yao didn't talk nonsense with them. He turned around and left. Boy, Wang Fengmin snorted unhappily. Look at your bad temper. He also treated our mother's headache. Don't forget, the woman shouted at her husband. It's not like I didn't pay. After leaving the house, Wang Yao didn't rush to the village. Instead, he went to Sun Yunxing's house. Dr. Wang, Sun Yunxing said, I need you to do something. Wang Yao didn't beat around the bush. What is it? From now on, as long as someone in the village wants to sell the livestock in the village, you are responsible for buying it. You can't sell it to other places. Find a way to get rid of it. I'm worried that there are poisonous worms in the livestock. No problem. I'll arrange it right away, Sun Yunxing said. The restaurant that opened the mutton soup in the village just bought a few sheep from the village. I'll arrange for someone to go there immediately. In less than half an hour, Wang Yao arrived at the village. Li Jikue was a little confused. Someone had just bought all the sheep he had just bought from a village above at the price of 1,000 yuan per sheep. It was a pure profit for him. He earned a few hundred yuan per sheep. However, He didn't understand why these people used a car that looked good and used his son's phone, which was an MPV, to carry the sheep. Rich people were so capricious. Did they want to eat mutton so much? In Sun Yunxing's new house in the mountain village. Since he was there, Wang Yao checked the bodies of the injured Lin Sitao and Hao. They were not serious. The insect toxins had been removed. The injuries to the bones and internal organs had been contained. The rest was to recover. There are no major problems. Have a good rest. Oh, thank you. Sun Yunxing walked Wang Yao to the door. He didn't go back until he saw him go away. Young master. As soon as he came in, he heard Lin Sitao calling him. Uncle Lin, what's the matter? You just said that he asked you to do something. What is it? Yes. Sun Yunxing told the old man what Wang Yao had told him. You should tell master about this. Do I have to tell Dad? Yes, the old man said. Okay, I'll call him right away. After that, Sun Yunxing called his father and told him what had happened. Okay, I see. I'll send someone to deal with this matter, Sun Jingrong said. His vision of things was definitely not comparable to Sun Yunxing's. When Wang Yao came out of Sun Yunxing's house, he saw a car parked outside the clinic. Su Changhe and Lu Xiaomei were waiting outside. They had come to get the medicine. Have you been here for a long time? No, I just arrived. Come in and sit down. It's quite cold outside. After entering the clinic, Wang Yao was about to give the medicine to Lu Xiaomei. It was the same price as last time. While they were chatting, they heard the outside door open with a bang. A woman rushed in. Dr. Wang, can you take a look at my son? The woman asked in a panic as soon as she came in. A middle-aged man came in with her. He was carrying a pale young man. You? Wang Yao was familiar with the family of three. It was one of the three young people who were addicted to drugs and his parents. Doctor, please take a look at him, Sun Disheng said anxiously. This morning, his wife had made breakfast and asked his son to get up for breakfast. However, he didn't respond. They thought he was just sleeping in and didn't wake up, so they didn't take it seriously. The couple ate first. After breakfast, they waited for more than an hour until it was past 9 a.m. Sun Disheng was a little angry. He felt his son was a little unreasonable. He went straight into his son's room and asked him to get up, but his son didn't respond. When he came closer, he found his son's face was abnormally red. He reached out and touched it. It was very hot. He immediately went to the hospital with him. The examination was not serious. He had a fever of 39.5 degrees. They thought it was just a common cold. However, the examination report made the doctor frown. Then, a set of examinations were carried out. The couple was frightened. They wondered what was wrong with their son. They asked the doctor, but the doctor said they needed to wait for the results of the tests. As soon as the results came out, the couple was dumbfounded. It was chronic kidney failure. How could this be? They knew the disease was quite terrible from the doctor's euphemism. So, they hurried to the mountain village with their son. On the way, they crushed 2 chickens. The chicken blood spilled all over the ground. I'm sorry, said Wang Yao after looking at it. His voice was very calm. Dr. Wang, please think of a way, the woman said almost in tears. I can't. Chapter 490. Wang Yao's answer was very calm. His tone was even a little indifferent. This patient was very difficult to treat, but he still had a way. However, the young man in front of him was not only a drug addict. He was also addicted to drugs and sexually transmitted diseases. Just before he went to the capital, he had seen this young man. At that time, he didn't have so many problems. It was just a single drug addiction. How long had it been? He had actually contracted so many problems. He had completely forgotten all the warnings he had previously given him. He just wanted to indulge in his life. Indifferent to life and death and happy? Since you have indifferent to life and don't have the doctor's advice, why would I bother to treat you? The husband and wife were stunned when they heard this. How could this be? The young man who was weak was also stunned. He did not expect such a result. It was all that damn foreign woman's fault. Until now, he had not clearly recognized his mistake. What a sad thing this is. He was not careful in making friends. He did not have strong self-control. He did not listen to advice. What? They came with full of hope. They did not expect such a result. Their son felt fear at the moment. It was as if Wang Yao's words had given him a death sentence. He was frightened. Dr. Wang, can you take a look at him again? The woman asked. I have already seen him. I'm sorry. Wang Yao firmly refused to treat the young man. Then, what should we do? The woman cried directly. Let's go to a big hospital. This was Wang Yao's suggestion. Ah, thank you. The family of 3 turned and left. The car drove very fast. The chicken that had been run over was still lying on the hard cement road. The blood had not solidified. It was run over a second time. Who the hell did this? After a while, a woman stood on the street with her hands on her waist and cursed. What's wrong with that young man? Su Changhe was a doctor and a very famous expert. He was almost instinctively interested in some special diseases. Wang Yao poured a cup of tea for both of them. Drug addiction, kidney failure, and sexually transmitted diseases. So serious? Su Changhe was surprised. Any one of these 3 diseases would be extremely difficult to treat, but they were all concentrated on a young man who looked to be in his 20s. How pitiful, how sad, how hateful. He sighed and shook his head. His parents are very anxious. It's useless to be anxious. It's too late to be anxious now. Overindulgence and arrogance. Wang Yao picked up the teacup and drank a mouthful of tea. It was very mellow and fragrant. To spoil a child is to kill a child. Can you cure his illness? Su Changhe asked curiously. I can, but I don't want to, Wang Yao said. Su Changhe and Lu Xiaomei were silent. This was a shocking answer. He could really treat it. After staying for a while longer, they bid farewell and left. Changhe, those 3 diseases are very difficult to treat, right? In the car, Lu Xiaomei asked curiously. She didn't know about the other 2 diseases, but she was infected with one of them. Even the famous experts in Beijing weren't sure about it. That was one of the best hospitals in the country. It's very difficult, Su Changhe said. Can he really cure it? It should be possible, Su Changhe said. Such medical skills were not only unheard of, but also unimaginable. He's amazing. Lu Xiaomei was silent for a long time before exclaiming. Indeed, that night, Sun Jingrong came to the mountain village. He didn't disturb Wang Yao. Instead, he went to the house where Sun Yinxing lived. Dad, why are you here? In the afternoon, a person had come to deal with the livestock. He didn't expect his father to come in person again. By the way, I came to see you. How are you, Lao Lin, how? I'm much better. Dr. Wang came to see me today. There is no big problem. I just need to rest, the old man said. That's good. Sun Jingrong looked a little tired. Master, you look a little tired. Have you been very tired these 2 days? Yes, I went to Miaojiang. Miaojiang? What did you do there? The old man asked anxiously. Look, I'm fine, Sun Jingrong said. I went to see someone and asked him to come over and help. Those poisonous insects? Yes. When will he come? He will come tomorrow. What's the price? He asked me to do my best to help them with a few things and a lot of money, Sun Jingrong said. He went to Miaojiang that day and met a few people, a few strange people. His purpose was to clean up the insects in the small mountain village. For that, he paid a lot of money. Well, don't make any more trouble, Lin Sitao said. That night, Sun Jingrong stayed in the mountain village. The next day, he went to see Wang Yao and told him about his trip to Miaojiang. Asked someone? Yes, someone like Huang Jiqing. Of course, they are not from the same sect, Sun Jingrong said. Have you been in contact with them? Yes. No wonder, Wang Yao said. What's wrong? You are poisoned. What? Sun Jingrong was shocked. What poison? Drink this. Wang Yao poured him a glass of water. It was a cup of medicine made with detoxification grass. After drinking it, Sun Jingrong felt a pain in his abdomen. It was as if a knife was twisting. He broke out in a cold sweat. After a while, he returned to normal. Sun Jingrong's face was very ugly. This was what he was most worried about. He originally wanted to ask them to come over and help, but it was likely that he had invited a wolf into the house. I was careless. When will they come? The plane should have arrived. I have arranged for someone to pick them up, but I didn't say they would come here directly. They will go to hike first, Sun Jingrong said. When they come, introduce me to them, Wang Yao said. Since they had come, he wanted to meet them. Looking at their little actions, it seemed that they were up to no good. In that case, he still had to take precautions in advance. After going through these things, Wang Yao also realized that a person's retreat and forbearance would only make some people want a yard after taking an inch. He had the heart of a bodhisattva and the means of a King Kong. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a luxury business car came to the mountain village. After it stopped, 2 middle-aged men got out of the car. One was in his 40s. He was not tall, less than 7 meters. He was thin and dark-skinned. The other was a young man in his 20s. He was strong and had dark skin. The 2 men were dressed very ordinary. There was nothing special about them. Are they the ones? Wang Yao saw the car from a distance. Yes, Sun Jingrong, who had come to greet him earlier, said, "Let's go and meet them." The 2 men walked to the 2 men. The older man was named Zhang Qingshan. The younger man was named Zhang Yuantong. They were uncle and nephew. As soon as Wang Yao approached, the 2 men's faces changed slightly. As for why they changed, it was unknown. "Thank you for your trouble," Wang Yao said with a smile. He seemed to move, but also seemed not to move. "You are welcome." Zhang Qingshan's tone was a little stiff. "What kind of insect?" "Like this." Wang Yao took out the glass bottle. The meat in the bottle had completely turned into a thick black juice. There was only one insect left. "Come out," Wang Yao said. The insect flew out. "Huh?" The uncle and nephew were surprised to see the insect. They were not surprised by the insect itself, but by the young man in front of them. How did he catch the poisonous insect and not show any fear? "I see. Leave the rest to us," Zhang Qingshan said. "Can I follow you and have a look?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "No." It was very direct and resolute. "Ha!" Wang Yao smiled. "Can't you just say no?" The uncle and nephew walked a few laps in the village with a black round box in their hands. They went from house to house. Wang Yao pulled it from a distance. He did not go forward. "Uncle, that man is strange." Yes. The uncle and nephew had poisonous insects on their bodies. The moment they got close to Wang Yao, they could clearly feel that the insects were moving. He doesn't seem to be afraid of those things. Let's solve the problem first. Don't cause trouble. Okay. In the afternoon, they found 2 places. One was in a house, and the other was in a cave at the foot of the mountain. The poisonous insects were breeding. They can breed? Chapter 491. When the uncle and nephew stopped to rest and discuss, Wang Yao came forward and asked. "Yes." Zhang Qingshan simply replied with one word. "Why didn't the insects in the bottle reproduce?" "The insects are divided into male and female," Zhang Qingshan said. His nephew was next to him. He was quick in action, but slow in speech. "You 2 have worked hard in the morning. Take a rest." "I have prepared lunch," Sun Jingrong said with a smile. "Okay." They had lunch in the best hotel in Lianshan County. In fact, the taste of the food was only average. It was far less good than the food cooked by Sun Jingrong's private chef. However, it was formal. Sun Jingrong did not want to lead these 2 dangerous people to his home. This uncle and nephew pair didn't talk much. At the banquet, Sun Jingrong frequently toasted them. They just expressed their gratitude. "When can these poisonous insects be completely expelled?" Wang Yao asked. The uncle and nephew did not reply. They did not know why they did not have any good feelings for this young man. "Mr. Zhang," Sun Jingrong asked. "It's hard to say," Zhang Qingshan said. "Hard to say. We will try our best within 7 days." The uncle and nephew's replies were as simple as possible. It was as if talking was a very exhausting thing. After eating and resting, they returned to the mountain village. The uncle and nephew continued to look for insects. Although their movements were very subtle, Wang Yao could still detect that they were using insects to attract insects. It was a very special method. If the insects found in the village were in the villagers' homes, Wang Yao would be responsible for coordinating and dealing with them. If the insects were in the mountains, they would be dealt with on the spot. The uncle and nephew used the simplest way to deal with them, which was to burn them and use sulfur. It only took a day for a considerable number of people in the village to know that 2 veterinarians had come to the village. They went door to door to treat livestock that might have been infected with strange diseases. They were led by Wang Yao. The most important thing was that they did it for free. This kind of thing was unavoidable. "Hey, Uncle, do you know about this? Someone asked Wang Jinli about this matter. Ah, it's fine. Wang Jinli always replied in the same way. In fact, he didn't know about this at all, but he probably understood secretly that Wang Yao must have a reason for doing so. Wasn't Mr. Sun also accompanying him? What really worried him was that he could tell that some of the livestock were sick. What kind of illness was it? Was it serious? He decided to take the time to ask Wang Yao. Wang Yao was shocked as he followed the uncle and nephew duo. These insects were far more terrifying than he had imagined. It was a very secretive parasite. The mother parasite reproduced very quickly and had a fatal poison. However, he also heard another important piece of information from the uncle and nephew. These parasites could not reproduce more than 3 generations. In other words, even if they didn't deal with the insects, they would still die and become extinct. But before that, they could cause irreparable damage to the lives of the villagers. That night, the uncle and nephew did not go back. Instead, they stayed in the mountain village and continued to look for insects. At night, their methods were even more unique. In the pitch-black night, they were like 2 ghosts. Such abnormal behavior, naturally, could not be hidden from the villagers. What are they looking for? Wang Jinli asked Wang Yao. At least 10 people in the village had asked him the same question. They are looking for insects. What kind of insects? There may be a parasite in the village that infects livestock. Like the sheep in Fengmin's house? Wang Jinli asked. This incident caused quite a stir in the village, causing a certain amount of panic. Everyone who raised sheep at home was worried that their sheep would suffer the same fate. Fortunately, Sun Yinsheng came up with the policy in time and passed it to every villager through Wang Jinli, which slightly dispelled the panic in their hearts. Wang Jinli was the only one who managed to pass the policy to every villager in the village. Yes, tell me the truth. Will these insects infect people? Wang Jinli stared into Wang Yao's eyes. This was what he was most worried about. Maybe, Wang Yao responded. Maybe? After hearing this answer, Wang Jinli did not speak for a long time. What will happen if people are infected? It will be very dangerous, Wang Yao said simply. People will die. It is possible. Wang Jinli didn't say anything after hearing that. He just kept smoking. He was very worried. Not because he was the secretary of the village and had a high moral standing, but because his parents, his wife, and some of his relatives all lived in this village. They were a big branch of people. Can these 2 be cleared? It should be possible. Wang Yao's parents also heard the conversation between the 2 of them very clearly, but they did not say a word from beginning to end. Thank you for this matter, Yao. These were the last words Wang Jinli said before leaving. He was thanking Wang Yao. This is what I should do, Wang Yao said softly. He walked Wang Jinli out of the door and then returned home. Are those 2 reliable? Zhang Xiuying asked with some concern. It should be possible. During the day, Wang Yao had seen their methods. They should be professional. In the evening, he left home earlier than usual. At night, Zhang Qingshan and Zhang Yuantong slowly walked around the mountain village. The uncle was in front, and the nephew was behind. Zhang Yuantong had one more thing in his hand. It was a clump of grass with sparks. It exuded a special smell. Uncle, it should be about time. Zhang Yuantong's voice was muffled. There is no hurry. As they walked, they arrived at the place where the battle had taken place that night. They did not have the slightest awareness that there was a person behind them. Wang Yao was behind them and hid his breath. Seeing the 2 of them arrive at this place, they stopped. It is here, Zhang Qingshan said. We have been here during the day. Let's split up and look for it. Okay. The uncle and nephew split up and began to search the area. What were they looking for? Sure enough, there was something. Wang Yao knew that they did not rest in the middle of the night. It was definitely not because they were dedicated to their work. There must be some other conspiracy. No. The uncle and nephew searched for a while and then met to communicate. They did not find what they wanted. Wang Yao thought of what they might be looking for. Huang Zhiqing had a strange round wooden tripod with him. Those terrible insects were sealed in it. Wang Yao had also opened it and seen some special medicine. He had never seen it before because it should be a unique medicine of Miaojiang. Where do they go? Asked Sun Jingrong. Okay. After not finding anything, The uncle and nephew left directly. Sun Jingrong specially arranged a car for them and prepared a place for them to live. The nearest place was in town, and the farther place was in the county. A driver served them 24 hours a day. After the two of them got in the car left. They are gone. In Sun Yunxing's new house, the uncle and nephew's actions were all seen by Sun Jingrong. What are they looking for? Lin Sitao, who was sitting in a wheelchair, asked. It should be something left by Huang Zhiqing that night, Sun Jingrong said. Oh, those things were taken away by Dr. Wang, Lin Sitao said. Well, I guess he will ask me tomorrow. The next morning, Wang Yao went down the mountain early. After eating at home, he received a call from Sun Jingrong. The uncle and nephew had arrived in the mountain village. Something special? Yes. I have to ask about this, Sun Jingrong said. I came late that night. Okay. Zhang Qingshan was still very quiet. This time, they went up the mountain. After working for a whole morning, they did not find any insects. There should be no problem here, Zhang Qingshan said. Are you sure? Wang Yao asked. Are you doubting me? The middle-aged man asked with no expression. No, this matter has to be confirmed. We live here, Wang Yao calmly said. Zhang Qingshan did not speak. He was ready to go down the mountain. Uncle, Zhang Yuantong, who was standing high, stopped him. He pointed to the distance on the hill. Zhang Qingshan came to a high place. His eyes lit up. He saw a piece of cyan in the distance. The cyan was very conspicuous in the bleakness. Chapter 492. What a good mountain, what a good forest. In the bleak winter, it was full of vitality. Such a scene in this season would be considered normal if it was in Miaojiang. However, they were in the north of the Yangtze River. It was the coldest time of the year. The mountain was green, and it was not evergreen like pine and cypress. There was something wrong with it. Moreover, the uncle and nephew were obviously not ordinary people. They could see things that ordinary people could not detect. Let's take a look. Chang Qingshan walked over. This is... Sun Jingrong looked in that direction and then looked at Wang Yao. Dr. Wang, let's take a look, Wang Yao said with a smile. He wanted to see what the uncle and nephew were going to do. The uncle and nephew continued to move forward. The closer they got to Nanshan Hill, the more excited they became. They had been expressionless for the past 2 days, but they could not hide the excitement on their faces. How could it be? In such a place? Why are they so excited? I can guess, Wang Yao said with a smile. They must have felt the rich spirit in this world, so they were excited. Stop, Wang Yao said in a low voice. Then, Zhang Qingshan and Zhang Yuantong felt an invisible wall of qi blocking them. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't move forward even half an inch. What was this? Array. Step back, Zhang Qingshan said. Zhang Yuantong stepped back decisively. Wang Yao was diagonally in front of him. He wanted to see what Zhang Qingshan was going to do. Then he saw Zhang Qingshan fiddling. His body made some strange movements like some kind of exorcism dance. His limbs were bent at an amazing angle, making crisp sounds. What was going on? Wang Yao could feel that the momentum of Zhang Qingshan's body was obviously rising. The qi and blood in his body became unusually vigorous. Secret method? What was the use of this? The reason why the uncle and nephew could not move forward was that Wang Yao released his neishi and communicated with the qi of this world. Then, he formed a wall of qi in front of them, preventing them from moving forward. This was not an array. It was martial arts or Taoism. He seemed to want to break the array with force. He did not even understand the principle. How could he break it? In the end, he busied himself for half a day without any results. Wang Yao felt quite happy. This person knew Kung Fu, and his cultivation level was not low. His methods were also strange. He had gained some knowledge. Uncle. Strange, Zhang Qingshan said. You can't enter this place, Wang Yao said calmly. What? Zhang Qingshan asked. The people inside don't want you to go in. If you continue to stay here, you might be in danger. Zhang Qingshan frowned slightly after hearing this. However, he didn't give up. Instead, he changed locations and tried again. In the end, there was another change this time. There was a sudden explosion in the air, and then his whole body was sent flying. He did 2.5 somersaults in the air. He originally wanted to perform a perfect landing move, but for some reason, he lost his balance and landed face first on the ground. What a failure! After he stood up, his face did not turn into the color of a pig's lung due to anger. Instead, it turned a little pale. Of course, it was just a little pale. After all, his face was originally dark, the kind that was dark. No matter how pale it was, it could not be that pale. How was this possible? At the moment, he was shocked and panicked. At the moment, he hadn't seen the person, but the invisible means had arrived first. Moreover, it was so accurate. This kind of means was simply unheard of. When he was in Nanjiang, he had seen many strange people and strange things. He had seen the so-called masters, but none of them had the means now. Not to mention having the means now. Even those who were close to it were not. What is this? Land immortal. With a thud, he knelt on the ground. Zhang Yuantong, who was behind him, saw the situation and knelt on the ground. Senior, we didn't mean to offend you. Please forgive us. Why are they kneeling? Sun Jingrong, who was on the side, saw the situation and was surprised. The uncle and nephew did not know, but he was very clear that the owner of Nanshan Hill was the young man standing in front of him. Zhang Qingshan's wonderful actions just now must have been thanks to him. At this time, Wang Yao was standing in a somewhat special position. He was diagonally facing the uncle and nephew who were kneeling on the ground. His hands were behind his back. His right hand gently turned over and then suddenly pressed down. Whoosh! A gust of wind blew toward the uncle and nephew. The wind blew so hard that they could not kneel steadily. Get lost! A voice, like thunder, came from all directions. It seemed to be everywhere. This also shocked Sun Jingrong. This is too mysterious. He looked at Wang Yao in surprise. His expression was so calm. Wasn't the movement you made just now a bit too big? Thank you, Senior. Zhang Qingshan knelt on the ground and said loudly. Thank you. Do you know that you've been fooled? The crisis was resolved just like that. On the way down the mountain, the uncle and nephew did not speak for a long time. Director Sunday this time, they changed the way they addressed Sun Jingrong. What's the matter? Please don't spread what happened on the mountain just now. Definitely. Do you know who lives on the mountain? Zhang Qingshan asked. This. Sun Jingrong looked at Wang Yao. Master. Master. Yes, master. He did not know how the uncle and nephew would react after knowing that the person living on the mountain was Wang Yao. Would they run over and fight with him? Uncle, who lives on the mountain? I don't know, don't talk about it, Zhang Qingshan said. This ability was definitely not something they could guess. Although they did not know why the person with such high cultivation was willing to stay in such a small mountain village, one thing was certain. He was definitely not someone they could provoke. It seems that the death of that branch should be related to the master. Then why didn't he take care of those insects? After a long silence, Zhang Qingshan made such a deduction. Maybe he doesn't know? He doesn't know. Yes, Xianyu has the strength to move mountains and rivers and the courage to defeat 3 armies. But he knows nothing about Miaojiang witchcraft, Zhang Qingshan said. It was the first time he had said so much. I understand. His nephew was still simple and straightforward. Dr. Wang, what you did just now was really amazing. Sun Jingrong exclaimed. You flatter me. If they know it's you, they might get angry. They won't, Wang Yao said. They are very alert to outsiders and will not take the initiative to ask. Even if they know, I have a way to deal with it. In the next 2 days, the uncle and nephew were very quiet. They simply looked for insects and killed them. They did not do anything excessive. Very good, Wang Yao said. 3 days later, at noon. The matter has been resolved, Zhang Qingshan said expressionlessly. No more insects? Wang Yao was still not at ease. After all, this was the village he lived in. His family was here. There could not be any accidents. No, we are looking for a place. Thank you for your trouble, Sun Jingrong said. I have prepared a banquet to see you 2 off. No need. Zhang Qingshan refused unreasonably. Okay, next time, I will arrange for someone to send you to the airport. Sun Jingrong did not care. There was no displeasure on his face. If it were other people, they would have died many times. Okay. After lunch, the uncle and nephew left by car. Sun Jingrong was not in a hurry to go back. Instead, he drove Wang Yao back to the mountain village. I'm really sorry about this matter. It's good that it has been resolved, Wang Yao said. Where did those two people come from? Miaojiang, a stockade with a history of nearly 1,000 years, Sun Jingrong said. He only knew of their existence by chance. They lived in the depths of the mountains. On the surface, they looked no different from ordinary Miaojiang people. However, some people in their stockade were proficient in Miaojiang witchcraft. Moreover, they formed their own lineage that had been passed down for hundreds of years. However, their rules were somewhat unique and could not be revealed to the outside world. This time, he paid a huge price to ask the uncle and nephew to come out and help. Hundreds of years of history? Miaojiang? Wang Yao looked out the window. What a pity. What? Sun Jingrong was stunned. He did not know why Wang Yao said the word pity. Zhang Qingshan will not live long. Chapter 493. Not long to live? For some reason, Sun Jingrong felt happy after hearing the news. Perhaps it was because of his experience in Nanjiang, or the cold attitude of the uncle and nephew. He did not have a good impression of the people in the village. He looks quite healthy. Wang Yao did not reply. In fact, the uncle and nephew did not look very healthy. Their dark complexions were because they were often exposed to the sun. On the other hand, they were poisoned, which showed on their faces. They were accompanied by venomous insects all day long. It was inevitable that they would be affected by them. Over time, the toxins would accumulate. Zhang Qingshan was like this. Zhang Yuantong was not much better. Some people in the village have short lives, right? Wang Yao asked. Well, I'm not sure, Sun Jingrong said. Sun Jingrong seemed to think of something. He frowned slightly. You have to be careful, Sun Jingrong said. If they tell the people in the village what they saw on Nanshan Hill, it will bring you trouble. He did not understand why Wang Yao did not stop the two people from approaching earlier. He clearly had the ability to do so. It doesn't matter, Wang Yao said. He had already thought of a countermeasure for this matter. That's good. Sun Jingrong stayed in the village for another day. Then he left. Before leaving, Yi Yunsheng told him some things. It was night. Wang Yao went to the hill early. San Xian and Goshawk had recovered from their injuries. Wang Yao returned to the cottage. The light was dim. He took out a packet of seeds. He had just redeemed them from the system. Xian Qiuluo. This was a licorice root in the catalog of magic herbs. It was also a kind of poisonous grass. Its leaves could benefit qi, blood, and essence. Its roots could supplement yang qi and expel cold poison. This was beneficial, and the most harmful part of it was its flowers. After it bloomed, it emitted a smell that was strangely poisonous. If one smelled it, one would feel weak all over and hallucinate. In serious cases, one would go into shock and die. This was also the reason why Wang Yao chose it. Planting it was equivalent to having an undetectable guard. As for the poison it produced, as long as one took the soup boiled from its roots, one would be immune to it. I'll plant it tomorrow. The next morning, Wang Yao planted the seeds at several suitable spots and watered them with ancient spring water. Apothecaries had ways to save people, but they also had ways to hurt people. Wang Yao was using a method unique to apothecaries. One must always be on guard against others. In the morning, Zhou Wui came to the clinic again. Congratulations, you've completely recovered. Really? His recovery speed was beyond Wang Yao's imagination. He originally estimated that it would take him at least half a month to fully recover, but he recovered 10 days earlier. He thought that it had a lot to do with the change in his mentality, and the changed nature of the nashi in his body also played a very important role. Good. The old man sighed. I'm happy today. Dr. Wang, are you free at noon? I'll treat you to a drink. The old man said. All right. Awesome. She informed her family that she would not be having lunch at home. The place was still the same hotel in the next village, but the wine was brought by the old man himself. It was a secret medicinal wine in their village. It was very mellow and had various magical effects. It could relax the muscles, promote blood circulation, and nourish the spirit. Dr. Wang, how is it? The old man was very happy because his injuries had been safely recovered. He often drank with Wang Yao. It's very good. Wang Yao smiled. In fact, he did not know much about wine, but he knew about medicine. He tasted 7 Chinese medicinal ingredients from the wine, which did have a certain nourishing effect. Then let's drink more. Wang Yao did not like to drink wine. He preferred to drink tea. He could drink more tea, but he should drink more wine. Medicinal wine was also wine. The old man was happy, but he did not say that. Sometimes in life, one needed to indulge. Traveling freely, drinking and reveling, singing to one's heart's content, and talking about the world. Of course, indulgence had a bottom line. It was not about murder, arson, or cheating. In the end, the old man obviously drank too much. Fortunately, Zhou Xiong did not drink too much because he had more important things to do the next day. His wedding with Xia Jihua would be held the next day. Dr. Wang, thank you very much. You're welcome. Come to my wedding tomorrow. Sure. In the afternoon, Wang Mingbao came back with a happy face. What's the good news? Tell me about it. The matter between me and Ms. Han is a success. Wang Mingbao said excitedly. A success? Yes. I've already met her parents. Her parents are quite satisfied with me. That's it. She's going to come to our place next week. I'll bring her to meet my parents. Okay. As long as the parents of both parties agreed and the two of them were sincere to each other, the matter was settled. Congratulations, congratulations. What about you? What about Tong Wei? Wang Yao was silent for a while. We're still talking about it. He didn't tell anyone about the matter between him and Tong Wei. We're still talking about it. When will it be settled? How about we hold the wedding together? Wang Mingbao asked happily. He didn't notice that Wang Yao's mood was a little strange. Well, let's see. Are you free tonight? Let's have dinner together. Okay. Since his brother was happy, Wang Yao didn't want to turn him down. In the afternoon, 2 people came to the clinic. They were from the neighboring village and came to see Wang Yao. One of them only had a small problem. His leg was very painful. Wang Yao gave him an injection and prescribed him 2 sets of medicine. Wang Yao gave him some advice. The other person's condition was more serious. This was because this was a child. He was 4 or 5 years old. The child had a cold. He had a fever and was very sick. He didn't have any energy. His breathing was very rapid and not smooth. There was a whistling sound in his throat. He has a cold. His body is hot and humid. His lungs are injured. This was a classic case of pneumonia caused by not treating the cold in time. How long has this situation been going on? A week. A week. Didn't you go to the hospital? Yes, I went to the health center in town. I also prescribed medicine. The woman who brought the child over said, but after taking the medicine, the effect wasn't very good. Cough, cough, cough. As they were talking, the child coughed again. It was very bad. Wang Yao gently patted his chest. In an instant, he stopped coughing. His complexion was much better. Amazing. The couple sighed. This situation should have come earlier. This illness was naturally not a problem for Wang Yao, but this child had to suffer more. Come, let me straighten out your qi. Wang Yao massaged the child's back to straighten out his qi and blood and reduce the phlegm caused by the hot and humid conditions. The child seemed to enjoy it very much. He felt that his body was obviously much more comfortable after the massage. Are you feeling better? Much better, uncle. Well, that's good. Wang Yao then prescribed a few sets of medicine. They were mainly drugs to clear away heat and reduce phlegm. Follow the instructions on the prescription and give him the medicine regularly. If there is a problem, take him to the doctor in time. Oh, okay. Thank you. The parents expressed their gratitude and left. After they left, Wang Yao said to Wang Mingbao, well, that child would have been very dangerous if he had come 2 days later. Now, many people are like that. They're not willing to go to the hospital to see a doctor unless their bodies can't bear it anymore. They don't have the habit of having regular checkups. Wang Mingbao said, this is a problem of perception. It is gradually changing. In Wei City, Renmin Hospital, Sun Deshang and his wife were dumbfounded. Doctor, can you check again to see if it's wrong? It can't be wrong, the doctor said. How is it possible? How could our son be infected with this disease? Drug addiction, chronic kidney failure, and now venereal disease. The couple was on the verge of breaking down. What kind of sin had he committed? Any one of these three diseases was very difficult to treat. The couple looked at their sick son. Sun Desheng was angry at the moment. He really wanted to strangle his son. He gritted his teeth and growled. "Tell me, what have you been doing these days?" "Dad, I didn't do anything." "You are still stubborn," Sun Desheng said. "If you didn't do anything, how could you be infected with that disease?" Boom. Sun Honglin was dumbfounded. "That disease, that damn foreign woman. Did you take drugs again?" "No, Dad, I really didn't." "Why are you yelling at your son?" the woman asked. Chapter 494. Sometimes you hope for the best, but what you waited for was the worst. A person who did bad things all day hoped that the Bodhisattva could bless him for a peaceful and happy life. This was simply a fool's dream. Of course, the Bodhisattva could also take a nap sometimes. Sun Desheng had only one son for most of his life. Obviously, he would not give up so easily. Then, the family waited for the road to the provincial capital. In the evening, Wang Mingbao and Wang Yao ordered a few dishes and a pot of wine from the pub in the village below. The two of them chatted until late at night. The next morning, the weather was gloomy. The weather had been low for several days. It was as warm as spring on the mountain, but it was bitterly cold at the foot of the mountain. In the clinic, cough, cough, cough. Several people who came to see the doctor kept coughing. They coughed badly and had phlegm, which was a common symptom of this group of cold patients. The medicine Wang Yao prescribed for them was basically the same: honeysuckle, indigo wood root, bitter almond, licorice, and ephedra. It cleared away heat, removed phlegm, and suppressed coughing. There were also 2 adults with children. The children were very young, only 3 or 4 years old. They had a fever, coughing, and did not like to eat. They were very sick. In addition to prescribing some mild medicine for the children, Wang Yao also gave them a massage to help them relieve their pain. The effect of the massage was surprisingly good. The 2 children with fever sweated all over after the massage. After a little test, they could feel that the fever should have subsided, and their spirits were much better. One of the children was hungry and wanted to eat something. Fortunately, the family carried food with them. "Wait for a while before you go," Wang Yao said. "Okay." The children's parents hurriedly put on their children's clothes. They were sweating all over. It was very easy to catch a cold outside. After sending the 2 parents away, Wang Yao was a little more free. Then he took out the treatise on miscellaneous diseases and started to read it. He had read this book more than 5 times, but he was willing to read it again when he had the time. It was not just about learning knowledge. After reading the diseases, he was thinking about whether there were other suitable solutions. At 11:30, Wang Yao was about to lock the door and go out when he saw a car parked next to the clinic. Then a couple rushed over with a baby in a small bag. "Hello, Dr. Wang. Can you take a look at the child? Come in and talk." Wang Yao hurriedly opened the door and let them in. The little guy in the small bag stared at Wang Yao with a pair of very bright eyes. He looked very curious, as if he had discovered something new. Cough, cough, cough. It didn't take long for him to start coughing. Moreover, there was a wheezing sound coming from his throat. His coughing face turned red. "Look, doctor, my daughter is coughing badly, and her throat is always whistling." "I heard you." Wang Yao waved one hand, and there was a warm breath that cleared away the coldness outside the little guy's body. "Hold her and sit down." The little guy was very obedient. Although he coughed badly, he did not cry. "You are so sensible." Some children were born to be liked, such as the little guy in front of him. After checking, Wang Yao found that there was no serious problem. He gently massaged her and then infused a trace of nashi into her. After a few minutes of massage, the wheezing sound in the little guy's throat began to weaken. After 10 minutes, the sound was almost inaudible. The little guy was obviously very comfortable. He even lay in his mother's arms and fell asleep. "It's amazing." The couple saw this and said. They had just come from the town's health center. The doctor there suggested that they give the child an infusion and go to the county hospital. Not every town's health center was equipped with a pediatrician. Moreover, the child was so small. They were also afraid of delay. The parents were worried that the child would be injected at such a young age, so they came here. This was the first time they had come. The effect was surprisingly good. Thank you, Dr. Wong. The couple kept thanking him when they left. Go back and take medicine regularly. Give the child more water. Yes, we will remember. They drove off in the car. Wang Yao went home for lunch. Many people came in the morning, right? Zhang Xiaoying asked. She went out to throw the garbage in the morning and saw some cars and motorcycles parked outside her son's clinic. She knew they were all there to see her son. Yes, many people. They all have colds. The recent colds are really bad. After lunch, Wang Yao returned to the clinic. In the afternoon, there was another wave of patients. Today, there were particularly many people. Near evening, Wang Ru also came back with Wang Mingyang. Uncle Andy. Hello, Mingyang. Come in and have a seat. How many times have I told you not to bring so many things when you come? Zhang Xiaoying said. It's nothing. They're all food and supplements for you and Uncle, Du Mingyang said with a smile. Where is Yao? Wang Ru asked. He is still in the clinic. Many people came today. I just went out to have a look. There are still cars parked outside. Yao's business is good, Du Mingyang said with a smile. It's fine. Wang Yao was in the clinic at the moment to treat a little guy. The little guy had a fever, a runny nose, did not eat, and vomited. Why did you come so late? The child's condition was similar to the 6-month-old child who was admitted at noon, but slightly more serious. But when the parents came, it was already dark. It was very cold at this time. I am busy with work, the man said. The child has caught a cold these days. When I came back from work today, I found the little guy was coughing badly, so I quickly came to see him. Wang Yao, just listened to him. There were obvious traces of injection on the child's body. Hold him and sit down. Wang Yao just gave a simple massage. It looked very gentle. There was nothing unusual. Even so, the boy quickly sweated and his little face became red. It was so effective. It really deserved its reputation. The couple looked at each other. They were very surprised. They also heard from others that the young doctor was very good. Their child had been injected for 3 days, but the effect was not very good. This made them very anxious, so they hurried over. When they first saw Wang Yao giving their son a massage, they were still very skeptical. Could massage be used to treat diseases? Yes, and it was more effective for some special diseases, such as lumbar disc herniation. However, they had never heard that massage could treat colds and coughs. Today, when they saw Wang Yao, their traditional understanding was subverted. It turned out that massage could be used to treat fever, coughs, and tracheitis. Ordinary massage methods were naturally not good. It could only play the role of auxiliary treatment and health care. However, Wang Yao was naturally different. It turned out that his massage technique was the medical skill of the ancient pharmacists. It was extraordinary. His nashi was very pure and magical. The combination of the two naturally had extraordinary effect. Well, I will prescribe some more medicine. Go back and give him to take it regularly. Oh, thank you, doctor. When the couple left, it was already 6:30. Although it was now after the winter solstice, and the days had become a lot longer, the sky was completely dark at this time. Yao, are you done? A man's voice came from outside. Wang Yao looked over and found that it was Du Mingyang. Hey, you are here. Yes. Are there any patients? No. Then go home and have dinner. The meal is ready. Just waiting for you. Well, you go back first. I will clean up here and go back soon. Can I help you? Du Mingyang kindly helped. As a result, he was embarrassed because he did not know what to help. Fortunately, Wang Yao quickly cleaned up the clinic and went home with him. At home, Zhang Xiaoying had already prepared a table of sumptuous dinner. In fact, it was better to have a simple and light dinner as much as possible. If it was too sumptuous, it would increase the burden on the body. It was okay to have it once or twice. If everything in life was done according to science and rules, it was a bit rigid. It was too boring to be like the monks in the temple who adhered to the rules and precepts. Chapter 495. Moreover, it was a meal, not a matter of principle. Chicken, duck, fish, and delicacies were very rich. Wang Yao's phone rang. He looked at the phone number. Oh, he almost forgot about it. He could not eat a table full of delicious food. Today was the day of Zhou Xiong and Sha Jihua's wedding. They invited their friends in Lianshan. They had told Wang Yao in advance, but there were too many patients today, so he forgot about it. Dad, Mom, Sis, Brother Mingyang, you guys eat? I have to go to Lianshan County. What's wrong? A friend of mine is holding a wedding today. I was so busy that I forgot, Wang Yao said. Then go quickly. Be careful on the road. Okay. Wang Yao hurriedly gave a red envelope and drove to Lianshan County. He received a call from Wang Mingbao in the car. Don't you know that Brother Zhou is getting married today? I know. I'm on the way. Drive safe. When Wang Yao drove to Lianshan County, it was already past 6:30 p.m. The wedding had already begun. After seeing Wang Yao, Zhou Xiong and Sha Jihua went up to greet him. It was the first time they saw Zhou Xiong in a suit. He was very solemn and very masculine. Sha Jihua was very beautiful. Congratulations, congratulations. Sorry I'm late. Thank you, thank you. Please come in. There were not many people attending their wedding. Mainly, some of Sha Jihua's relatives and friends, followed by Wang Yao and Zhou Xiong's friends. It was a table full of people. It's really good. It's a good match. Wang Mingbao praised with a cigarette in his mouth. Don't envy them. Aren't you going to get married soon? Wang Yao said with a smile. Are you going to get married too? Tian Yuando asked. Yes, almost, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. He was now trapped in the river of love and could not extricate himself. Then congratulations in advance. Thank you. The wedding was lively and heartwarming. Zhou Xiong and Sha Jihua's faces were brimming with sweet smiles. After experiencing it, one would know that happiness was not easy to come by. Naturally, one would cherish it more. In the mountain village, Wang Fenghua usually liked to drink, but Wang Yao didn't like to drink. He always felt that something was missing when he drank. Today, Du Mingyang came, so he also drank some wine. Finally, there was someone to drink with him. The wine was good. Some friends came over play and gave it to Wang Yao. They drank nearly 2 liters of wine. That's enough, Wang Ru advised. Du Mingyang was full of witty words. The 2 elders were very happy. That night, Wang Mingyang settled down and did not return to the city. The wedding didn't last long in Lianshan County. Nowadays, weddings were bustling with noise and excitement. Drive safe. Congratulations to you all. By the time Wang Yao returned from the city, it was nearly 8:30. The whole family was sitting around the Kong bed, watching TV and chatting. He's back. Yes. Is the bride beautiful? Wang Ru asked. Yes, she's very beautiful. Wang Yao said. He was telling the truth. Sha Jihua was a beauty. She was in her 30s, which was the best time for a woman. Mature and intellectual. Wang Ru didn't say anything. No one knew what she was thinking. Wang Yao gave the 2 elders a massage, as usual, to loosen their muscles and bones. TSK, TSK, TSK. Du Mingyang praised. He had lived here twice. Every night, he could see Wang Yao giving his parents a massage to relax. This was a rare filial piety. My brother-in-law's character can't be wrong. His girlfriend was quite good. When they first started dating, he felt that she was a bit shrewish. After getting to know her, he realized that she was actually quite a virtuous person. Moreover, her family was quite nice and reasonable. His brother-in-law was also quite good. The more Du Mingyang thought about it, the happier he was. He felt that God was spoiling him. He unconsciously grinned. What are you laughing at? Wang Ru, who was standing beside him, poked him. Nothing. Thank God for giving me a good wife, Du Mingyang said. Don't rush to be happy. It's not time yet. Wang Ru rolled her eyes at him. No, the inspection is not over yet. At 9:30 p.m., Wang Yao went out to Nanshan Hill alone. He still had things to do. In the past 2 days, there had been a lot of people who had caught a cold. He had a lot of Chinese medicinal herbs, and the treatment effect was good. However, it was not convenient to cook a big bag of them. He planned to process a few of the main medicinal herbs, grind them into powder, and then mix them together. This way, the amount would be small, and it would be convenient to take. Stir-frying, grinding, and sifting powder. These were the general procedures. Wang Yao planned to prepare the herbs and tools at night and process them the next day. At night, it was very cold outside. In a family, a woman had just coaxed her child to sleep. Basically, he has stopped coughing. That doctor is really good, the woman said. Not necessarily. Maybe it's because the injection in the hospital has begun to work, her husband said. You just don't accept it. It's not that I don't accept it. If the doctor is so good, why do we need the hospital? The man said. In fact, he did not agree with his wife's insistence on taking his son to see a doctor in the mountain village. In his opinion, his son's condition improved mostly because of the injection in the hospital. Well, I won't be stubborn. As long as the child is well, it's okay, the woman said. Not everyone was convinced by Wang Yao's medical skills, even if they had seen it with their own eyes. After dinner, when the two elders returned to the house, Du Mingyang and Wang Ru whispered, Your brother is also on Nanshan Hill on such a cold day? Yes, he is used to it. On such a cold day, there is no heating on the mountain. It's not cold on the mountain. Wang Ru, who had been on Nanshan Hill, naturally knew what it was like on the mountain. She was very curious about her brother's ability in this aspect and was full of admiration for him. When will we settle the matter between the two of us? Why are you in such a hurry? Wang Ru asked. You're such a good wife. I'm afraid others will miss you, Du Mingyang said. What he said was true. Ever since he took Wang Ru to meet his colleagues, they had been envious of him. Where did you find such a good girlfriend? He had heard that many people in Wang Ru's unit sent her flowers. He was not afraid of thieves stealing, but he was afraid of thieves missing. His parents also liked Wang Ru very much. They had nothing to say. They even ordered him to get married as soon as possible. After the new year. Okay, kiss me. Behave yourself. We are at home. Wang Ru rolled her eyes at him. On the mountain, the weather was mild. Wang Yao had prepared everything. He could start the next day. He looked at the sky outside the cottage for a long time. Is the weather going to change? The dog also looked at the sky. Naturally, he could not see anything. The next day, the mountain was still the same. Wang Yao got up very early. He was not going to go down the mountain in the morning. He specifically told his family about the herbs he was going to prepare on the mountain so that they would not wait for him to go down for dinner. Different herbs needed different processing methods. Some needed to be stir-fried, some needed to be dried, and some needed to be air-dried. Some of these herbs were planted by him. They had been processed before. One or two of them were purchased from Li Maoshuang. Grinding. The purest ancient method. Sifting powder and grinding. It was very boring work. Repetitive, meticulous repetition. Wang Yao was not in a hurry. He was cooking a small fish slowly. Why hasn't he come yet? He was not in a hurry, but some people at the foot of the mountain were anxious. In today's society, in the age of the internet, news spread quickly. Now, many people knew that there was a young man with excellent medical skills in the mountain village through the internet. In their circle of friends, when they encountered something new, they would post it. Some people talked about their treatment at Wang Yao's clinic. Everyone who had a headache or a fever went to the hospital first. After all, a set of examinations had to be done. No one was willing to go there if they were not seriously ill. Good doctors and good private clinics were very popular. As more people spread the news, more and more people came to see the doctor. Naturally, more and more people came to see the doctor. It was not even 9 o'clock in the morning, but there were already several cars parked outside the clinic. Some of them were adults, and some were with children. Tut, fortunately, it's Sunday. The doctor won't not come today, will he? Most of the people here came to see the doctor for the first time. They were not clear about Wang Yao's rules and habits. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.